Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and today we are going to do another pick a card reading, and this time we are asking what's next in love. So take a moment to breathe deeply, relax, and ask yourself, your spirit guides, the universe, whoever, whatever, what is next in my love life? What do I need to know right now that will keep me on the highest path for my good and the good of all with my love life? Okay, and then take a moment and take a look at the three symbols that are appearing on the screen and select whichever one you feel most drawn to. We have group number 1 with the coconut, group number 2 with the flowers, and group number 3 with the peach. And also, while you're here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Thank you everyone who has subscribed already. I love you guys. I love the little community we're building here. So if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do that. And you can hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time that I post. And if you want to help out the channel, go ahead and give this video a like, share it with friends, see what comes up for them, and comment your thoughts and feelings. The things that resonate from this reading, leave a comment, let me know. I love reading your comments so much. So go ahead and do those things if you want to support the channel. Also, I want to remind you guys that I do offer personal readings on my website, spiritpsychic.org. The link to that is always in the description box. I offer spiritual life coaching sessions where we do an hour reading every week with the questions that you have in mind. And I also am offering the 2023 New Year Tarot and Mediumship reading. That's a fun one, and I'm only going to be offering that until the end of January 2023, so get it while it's still here, okay? Let's begin. So pile number 1, hello. We are going to do this by separating this reading into yourself and the other person that you are or will be dealing with. If you're single and not really looking for anyone right now, both of these sides will represent you and the energies and situations you're going through in life that are helping you on your love life journey, if that makes sense. So one side might be you, where your energies are at right now, and the other side might represent just the general situations around you, your friends, the events of your life, and what's going on. And whatever comes up in that case might, those events are kind of helping you in your love life. They're a part of the process of your love life, if that makes sense. If you're in a relationship, talking to someone, dealing with someone else, their energy might come through in one of these sides, so use your intuition with that. There's no particular order here. Your energy might show up in this side, and their energy might show up in either side as well. So follow your intuition when we do this. This part of the reading is going to be like an overall energy checkup to see, if this resonates, if you selected the right group. So if none of this resonates at all and you have no idea what I'm talking about, go back and pick a different group, or maybe you just don't have any messages in today's reading. Okay? So let's dive into it. Person number 1 is being represented by the oyster in reversed. And right off the bat, I really want to say, this person has a hard time opening up. They're very not used to being emotionally open and communicating their feelings and what they're going through. They keep that beautiful part of themselves locked within, underneath a shell. They might also have strong Cancer placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. So that's something to think about. But yeah, the oyster card in reversed is definitely showing person number 1 is someone who is very much not used to opening up to other people. And they might be coming off a little bit closed in this relationship, or that might be an issue that they are dealing with. So that's really interesting. Okay, the energy that they're carrying is indecision. Yeah, this person's very indecisive as well. Interesting stuff. I feel that, their energy's just closed off a bit. They have a hard time really being confident, I want to say, and decisive. And this is someone who has a hard time just being their authentic self. And I'm not saying they're a liar. They aren't. I'm not saying they're hiding anything negative. It's just more so the way that they were raised, the way that society has brought them up to be. They just aren't used to being this assertive person who really puts themselves out there and is really proud in who they are. This person, I feel, has some strong self-esteem issues. And I almost wonder if they put their sense of self-esteem into certain external situations in an unhealthy way. So for example, they might be putting their sense of self-esteem into, how they're perceived by others, and they might be a bit of a people pleaser, constantly like pleasing the people around them, doing favors for their friends. Also, this might be somebody who, if they're into like hookup culture and stuff, they might have actually placed some of their self-esteem in those hookups and, seeking out that type of attention, that type of stuff, not because they were genuinely into it per se, but because they were attaching a sense of their self-esteem into it. Does that make sense? Like, it's totally fine to be into casual connections and things like that, but when you're coming from a place of kind of wrapping some of your self-esteem in it, I think it can kind of turn into this toxic pattern. So I don't know. I feel like this person might have that they need to work on their self-esteem for sure, and be a little bit more decisive. And this person really needs to do some inner healing work, because like it feels like they just don't know what they want. This feels like somebody who just kind of lets life take them wherever it may, and let the people around them make all the decisions for them. And so that's why they invest so much of their self-esteem into like people pleasing those around them. It's a really interesting psychological archetype this person has right now. Okay, their chakra is vanity with the throat chakra. Yeah, this totally just clarifies everything we just talked about, with them wrapping their sense of self-worth and their self-esteem in how other people are perceiving them. And I don't see them as like this very outwardly vain person. You know how sometimes you meet somebody who just very clearly wants to be the center of attention all the time? This isn't someone like that. In fact, I feel like they might be a bit more shy or reserved, or kind of like appearing to stay in their shell a bit more. But low-key, they do derive some of that self-esteem. This person needs therapy. This person needs to do some serious inner healing work. So, and then we have time. Planning, making decisions, leaving comfort, taking risks. This person is coming off to me as very slow-moving when it comes to making decisions in their life, surrounding relationships, surrounding any changes that they want to make personally, because they don't have that healthy sense of self-esteem that says, you know what, here's what my instincts are telling me, I'm going to follow it, I trust myself. They lack that self-trust is what I'm seeing here. And this is someone who may fear taking risks to like an extreme level, which is what makes them indecisive. And all this time is just passing them by, where they don't make a decision. And it's really uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable energy to deal with. I really feel like those of you watching group number 1, this might be the person that you are dealing with, or the external situation that you're dealing with. I don't feel like many of you, this is you. I mean, if it resonates, sure. Some of you guys, this might resonate for who you are. But their big spiritual lesson here is, being able to really plan their own life out for themselves, instead of just sitting in this area of, letting the universe decide everything, and letting the people around them decide everything, and just kind of going in a direction that, their family and society has put them on. This person will really benefit to cultivate some genuine self-esteem and confidence, so that they can trust, their own visions, ideas, and goals, and take bold actions towards them. And taking those bold actions will require them to leave their comfort zone. I feel that like this person really needs like a massive spiritual wake-up call. And this doesn't have anything to do with like, religion or talking to ghosts or anything. This is a spiritual wake-up call in the sense of like understanding that they are 100% in control of their own reality and their own life. And, when someone's spiritually asleep, essentially what that means is that they're really just letting society, their family, their external stimuli to sculpt their minds and their realities. And they're just on this path sleeping, on this path going through the motions. And, when somebody's spiritually awakened, they can understand and see in a conscious way how all of these external stimuli are cultivating their reality. And they can then have the power to make decisions to sculpt their own reality in the way that they want. And I feel like this person, they might be going through a spiritual awakening very soon or right now. Like there might have been some type of event that happened or argument or drama that has kind of awakened them to this idea that they really actually need to start being the leader in their own lives. So that's really interesting. Person number 2 over here is being represented by the stingray in reversed. And I already think it's really cool that we have 2 water animals coming out here. So you guys do really resonate on some level with each other. Both kind of being these kind, gentle people is what I really want to say. When I think of water, I think of caring for the people around you. I think of, being emotional, being sensitive, being creative, and yeah, it's really interesting. Both of these water animals did come out in reverse though, so I do feel like there is a lot of emotional healing that's needed in this connection. Maybe you're not seeing quite eye to eye at this time. There might be some hidden resentments here. I feel with the stingray, look at the difference between the stingray and the oyster. This stingray person is much more in their energy of being a leader in their life, if that makes sense. Whereas this is like a sitting duck over here. This is someone who, they have their wings, their fins, they move on their own. They go the places they want to go. They do the things that they want to do. And, I feel that the stingray person might have some like hidden resentments towards the oyster because of like the slow moving nature of them that they need to work through. And they kind of developed some coping mechanisms that can come across as like not like cold but like very sharp, you know what I mean? Like this stingray person has been hurt before and they are very fearful of being hurt again. So I feel that they are not wanting to put up with the crap of the oyster in a sense, and they are willing to protect themselves. But in the reverse here, I just really feel like there's so much healing that needs to go on between these 2 people. But let's see what other cards came out. The energy the stingray person is carrying is financial constraints, so they are going through some type of financial, material insecurity right now. I almost wonder if this is really interesting. I feel like you are 2 people here who your spirit guides are trying to get you both individually to take care of yourself first in order to come together in a relationship. And right now the oyster person needs to work on their mental health, their self-esteem, and cultivating a healthy self-esteem that is not dependent on the people outside of them. This oyster person needs to go to therapy. They need to develop some healthy coping skills, some healthy communication skills, and they really need to practice having confidence and, do some inner healing work on their own half. They need to go through this spiritual awakening. Whereas this stingray person over here, I do feel like they are a bit more emotionally, I don't want to say emotionally mature, like emotionally intelligent than the oyster person. However, the thing that they need to focus on right now is their actual physical life. They need to really get their money together, pay off debts, create savings. There's so many different types of savings this person needs to create, an emergency saving fund in case anything happens, a retirement fund, a general savings fund to, make bigger purchases like cars or houses. I feel like we're both so wrapped up here in the problems that are going on in this relationship. There might be some resentments here, some fears, resentment, fear. And Spirit's just saying, how about instead of focusing on, in a way, I do think the stingray person is kind of cultivating some of their happiness, or trying to derive some of their happiness and sense of worth and self-esteem from their outside relationships, just like the oyster. I do feel like there's some mirroring going on here. Because I feel like they have a lot of negative pent-up emotions about the slow movingness, the lack of emotional intelligence going on from the oyster person over here. And Spirit's kind of saying, well, hey, if they're, they need to do their own thing. So instead of, depending your happiness off of them, focus on your own problems that you have going on in your life, because they're there, your wallet's looking a little thin there, honey boo boo bears. Let's focus on that first, make sure that you are in a place where you can take care of yourself financially. And the oyster person, their spirit guides are saying, make sure that you are in a place where you can take care of yourself emotionally, So you're both dealing with a similar issue, only on different areas of life. So no one person is better than the other here. The chakra that the stingray, oh, how about that? And again, throat chakra coming out for both of you, bittersweet. Yeah, I am getting some bittersweet energies here. It's almost like a what if energy. It's almost like wanting this connection to grow at a more rapid rate, wanting this connection to be just wanting more positivity, less problems, more beauty. Oh my gosh, is that a dove? Guys, I've been seeing the dove spirit literally everywhere this past 24 hours. So, and it keeps popping up literally everywhere. The dove spirit represents purity of intention and love. Doves are very monogamous. They have very healthy relationships, honestly. They, the mother and father, they parent equally. They stick together for life. They're very loyal to each other. They don't give up on each other. They're loyal for life. And so that dove spirit is kind of coming through in this reading. And, we see here the stingray is wanting to have that loyalty and grow their life with someone, specifically the oyster maybe. Wanting to celebrate achievements and wipe each other's tears. But I feel like there might have been something that happened between the two of you, or there might have been something that is preventing this from happening, some slow movement, indecision, financial constraints. I feel almost that it's not that the stingray person wants this more than the oyster person. I just feel that the oyster person is so caught up in their fear, so caught up in this indecisiveness, and they're just not in a mentally healthy place. And the stingray person here, they're in a rush to move this relationship forward, and they're feeling a bit impatient, but Spirit's kind of saying during this time there's two things they want you to take note of. If the oyster person is going to actively better their mental health and develop actual coping mechanisms, however that may look, it might be through therapy, might be through reading self-help books, doing whatever. They need to be doing that. That's number one in order to make this relationship work. Number two, in the meantime, stingray, instead of, focusing so much on this other person, start to look at your own life and build up your own life. This delay is divinely aligned. It's in divine timing, this delay in this relationship moving forward. It is the universe saying, use this time to pad your savings, to get your life together, stingray, on a very physical, practical way. And even if you're not struggling financially, this could be your health, for example. If your health is very unstable right now, use this time to stabilize that, to start eating healthier, to start working out, to, take whatever supplements you need, to go to the doctor's appointments you need to go to, this person needs to focus on their emotions. This person needs to focus on the physical side of life. And you will notice, because this is a spiritual connection. All connections in life are spiritual. As whoever you are, as you do this, whatever it is, emotion or physical, As you grow and develop, you will notice your other person growing and developing at the same exact rate that you are. Okay? This is a type of connection where the more you love yourself, the more you take care of yourself, your person will do the same thing. And that is a mark of soulmate relationships, by the way. We have migration going on here for the stingray. Initiate, beginnings, freedom, adventure, first step. Yeah, I definitely feel like the stingray is the initiator of change in this relationship. That might be annoying to them at sometimes. They're definitely much more of an initiator than the oyster person here, but I feel like many of you are the stingray, and this might be a conversation you want to have with this person. I'm gonna focus on my physical reality, my health, my financial health, whatever, and in the meantime I want you to focus on your emotional stuff. Take care of yourself. Don't be sitting within these mental health issues or in this struggle without doing anything to get yourself out of that, because that is just not a good foundation to have a healthy relationship with. Okay, so you might need to initiate some type of conversation around that. And what's really annoying? The biggest difference between the two of you here is that this stingray person is wanting to move and move and move and grow, and they do not like sitting still, whereas this oyster person is literally the exact opposite. Their problem is just being a sitting duck, not doing anything, being indecisive, and wanting other people to make decisions for them. So it might be a conversation that the stingray has to initiate with the oyster. You have to contribute to this relationship. You have to grow in your own sense, Ooh, so it's weird because you're very similar, yet we have two completely different energies here. This person's ready to go. This person is taking their good old time. So one thing I want to ask is how we can bridge this gap here. What can we do to bridge this gap? The stingray person, who I feel as many of you, is wanting things to move forward at a more rapid rate. But then the person they're dealing with, or just, the reality that they're presented with, is moving a lot slower. So what can we do to equalize this and compromise, to move at one pace? What can we do? I feel guided to pick 3 cards. So there they are, and this is from the After Tarot. What can we do to bridge the gap? We have the Hermit in reversed. Okay, so this might be a time in your story where you are kind of being forced to focus on your own journey as an individual, and I feel like you're very resentful of that, unwilling to do that. I feel many of you might even be frustrated, Spirit, I don't want to focus on myself. Yeah, I get it, but when is this gonna happen? When are we gonna move forward? And Spirit is kind of saying, use this time to focus on yourself, focus on your own journey, better your own life as an individual. It's coming out in reverse, which is showing me that you really don't want to do that. You just want the future now. You just want that love, that connection, that life partner, that forward momentum now. And Spirit's kind of saying, it'll happen sooner if you just listen to us and trust us. This will happen sooner if you really do prioritize your alone time and focus on whatever it is that you need to focus on that will better your life. It might be starting therapy. It might be really focusing on your career and finances. It might be really focusing on your health. What do you need to do right now in order to really take care of yourself as an individual and be able to show up better in this relationship and show up for your future more prepared, with more resources, mental, physical, emotional resources. Spirit's saying use this time to build those resources, okay? That's step number 1. Step number 2, we have the King of Swords. This is a very decisive and swift-moving energy. This is an energy of confidently knowing what you want in the future and just going after it. And I see the butterflies here. I'm seeing a sense of transformation, personal transformation, maturing, focusing on your own maturing journey. This King of Swords takes care of himself first and foremost. He is going to be all right, even if he's dethroned. He is going to be all right no matter what. And because he's coming from this place of, I can be happy and fulfilled on my own with my various support system people and resources and habits, I'm going to be happy and all right on my own. And because of that, that's when beautiful experiences come to him. There's a maturing that needs to happen here. On both of your sides. Spirit's really asking you to, it's not necessarily, how do I put this? The King of Swords is kind of asking you to take off the rose-colored glasses in a sense, get rid of not get rid of, maybe reduce the romanticized version of your love life. And I know you're like, what are you talking about? Love life and romance go hand in hand. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like the fairy tale-esque picture that you have in your head of things just magically working out. It's not that it's not going to work out for you. It's just that, I think there needs to be a bit more focus on the practical steps involved with that, Like, how do I put this? Kind of reduce, reduce just a little bit of your need to depend off this other person. Does that make sense? So for the stingray person, for example, maybe they really want a life partner because they just envision buying this big, beautiful home and having a spouse and, someone to make life more fulfilling, using both of your resources, both of your good energy. This stingray person's kind of viewing this as like, when we're in a team, we can achieve more, right? And Spirit's saying, build up what you have to offer as a player a bit more at this time. Does that make sense? As a team player. And same thing with the oyster. You need to build up a little bit more of what you have to offer as a team player as well. And if you take the time to do this now, the things that you're going to manifest in your love life later on is going to be so much greater. Like, if you take the time right now to focus on your finances, for example, you might be able to buy like a mansion with your life partner later down the line. If you take a little bit more time to focus on your mental health, you will have a thriving, healthy relationship later down the line. And this process might even only take a few weeks, a few months. Like there's nothing here saying that this is going to be a slow burn, slow journey. I just feel like you're so impatient. If you're the stingray, you are so impatient. We have the Page of Swords in reversed. Yeah, again, this is confirmation that a maturing is needed here. And also possibly some more conversations, healing conversations, if you're in a relationship, need to happen, especially when it comes to how you're both, contributing to your own personal growth and how that personal growth is contributing to the growth of the relationship. So like, for example, the stingray person might say like, yeah, I'm really going to focus on my health so that we can have a really long, healthy life together. Or I'm going to really focus on, saving my money up so that we can have a really successful future together. The oyster person might need to say, like, yeah, I'm focusing on my confidence, my self-esteem, developing healthy coping mechanisms so that we can have a peaceful life together. We both need to do our parts here. That's kind of how we will bridge this gap and get this moving faster. Because if you don't do that, Spirit loves you, group number one. They're going to keep protecting you. They're not going to put you in a life partnership where you're both inadequately prepared for it. You know what I mean? The reason why you have not yet manifested that goal that you have in your love life, whether it's marriage, whether it is not being single, is because you're not right now prepared for it. And Spirit is saying it's not going to be a slow process. We just need you to do some inner healing work on yourself. Make sure you're all right. Make sure your bank account's full. Make sure you're make sure you're healthy mentally, physically, emotionally before you start worrying about dragging other people into it. You know what I mean? And, there are so many broken relationships in the world. There are so many failed relationships in the world, and you are much more special. Spirit is really protecting you, group number one. That's why this hasn't manifested yet. Beautiful stuff. All right. So what's next? What's going to happen in this relation? If this is a relationship, what's going to happen next here that you should know about? Getting down into the nitty gritty. Now that we've looked into what's happening overall, what's happening next? You know, what can we look forward to? Mama Moon, tell us what's going on here in this relationship. And again, if you're single, you know, this would be like, you know, the next good soulmate relationship that you will be in. What's next in love? Mama Moon. We have... wow, Gibbous Moon, you're very close to achieving your goal. Yeah, guys, like, your spirit guide's the moon, who is my biggest spirit guide. I love her. They're coming through and saying, listen, you're closer to achieving this than you realize, but like it's at that point of the journey where like you feel like it's never gonna happen, or it's just gonna take a painfully long amount of time, and they're saying no, like you are so close to the full moon. Maybe you're even, I'm actually filming this on a moon like this as well. Like I am, what's today? 4 days away from the full moon in Cancer. The Cancer full moon especially talks about balancing, you know, your emotions and your relationships with, you know, the practical physical things in life. So I just find that really funny that this is all coming out in your reading at this particular time that I'm filming. And this might actually be up on this moon as well, like right before the full moon. So that is just so funny. I'm trying to find the book definition because I just love reading from the book. The word gibbous means bulging. What a descriptive word, right? And pulling this card at any time of the month suggests that the situation you're asking about is bulging with possibility and coming to a peak. All right, there's some sexual tension going on here as well. Love that. But this isn't an ending card with a neat yes or no answer. Rather, you're being reminded that some adjustments may yet be required before you get what you want. We literally just said that. You didn't get what you want yet because you need to make some adjustments, you know? Stay on the right track here, yeah. Though you're certainly on the right track, which is hopefully reassuring for you. However, there is also a sense that the situation is a bit tense. Yeah, I do get some tense undertones here, like some resentful undertones. Maybe you guys recently got, like if this is someone that you already know and are with, you know, maybe you recently got into like a bit of a debate, a bit of a spat about the future or about the pace of things, you know? There's a sense that this situation is a bit tense, so don't push too hard. One false move and the whole thing could blow up. That's not meant to scare you, it's just to let you know that there is a fuse attached to the situation, so be careful if you choose to light it. You're at a very precarious time in your love life right now, so especially if you are in a relationship, dealing with a relationship, like this needs to be handled with a lot of finesse, okay? Be careful of saying or doing something that can like blow this whole situation up, you know, because you are so close to like achieving something here. Additional meanings here. Now is a good time to review your plans, keep the momentum going as you move forward towards your dreams. And that's a key word here. Like you're just waiting for it to happen. Momentum is the right word for you. You know, focus on the momentum of your own personal life too, like a positive momentum, you know, with really good habits and, you know, just keeping up with that, building momentum in life. That really means like constantly choosing to do things that are for your own growth and for the growth of the relationship. Keep up that momentum, you know, I think of it like this. When you're kind of, you know, having healthy habits like that, things that take energy from it, that reduce momentum, are things like, for example, like if your personal goal is health, you know, building healthy momentum might be like going to the gym, eating healthy, but like that energy is growing and growing. The energy of health is growing. But, you know, you might take out like a little withdrawal of that energy by doing things like eating a donut or, you know, sugary cakes or sodas or whatever. That's like you're building this momentum and then it goes down because you do something. You build it down, up, down, up, down. Same visual can apply for your relationship health. You know, you do good things like have a nice heart-to-heart conversation, a nice cuddling session, a fun date out. Those are all like deposits in your relationship bank. And the more you save, the more you grow, the more you build that momentum, the bigger and more monumental that love can turn into. But when you have things like big arguments or, whatever, that's kind of like taking some energy from that. So yeah, now's a good time to review your plans, keep the momentum going as you move towards your dreams. Stay focused. It's a good time to start a new project. You need to get back into good health habits. Yeah. It's an intense time of the month whenever this moon is around. So yeah, things are a little intense right now. Keep building momentum in whatever area of your life that you need to build momentum in. So from the Lover's Oracle, what's next in love? What's next in love? What's next in love? I am not looking at the cards and my ring is falling off because my fingers shrunk. I'm going to pick a card at random without looking. This is the one that came out. Okay. Don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. Yeah, this is something that I think specifically the oyster person needs to hear. Like, don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do. And I'm getting so many different examples for this energy that'll be different people watching. For example, someone watching this right now, it's that your person might want to propose to you or move things along further, but they feel like they should wait a little bit longer because that's what society or their friends or family are doing. And they're kind of in this self-healing journey where they're kind of realizing their own confidence and realizing that they should do, what's authentic to them, not what's authentic to other people who are telling them what to do. Another person watching this might be a situation where this person might be debating or wanting to wait on furthering the connection a bit, and the stingray person's being way too pushy about it, and that's kind of the fuse that we were talking about in the moon card that might kind of blow the situation up, is by being too pushy. Wow, yeah. Interesting. There's a lot of interesting examples that I'm feeling from you guys. Yeah, okay. Moving on. What's next in love? Also, I want to say, with both of you here, don't feel bad about what you want from this connection. If you, for example, your idea of a dream relationship is just traveling the world and not doing traditional stuff like having kids or owning a home, don't feel bad about that. Live your authentic life, and vice versa. If you grew up around a bunch of liberal hippie folk and your dream is to, do those traditional things get married and have kids and whatnot, again, don't feel guilty for that. What's next in love? Do what's true to yourself. Okay, these are a lot of cards. We have opportunity. There is going to be some type of opportunity or conversation or proposal coming forward that might change the course of your love life within the next few months. So this is giving you timing. And I did pick up on the same exact timing earlier. Things are, especially if you're the stingray person, being really impatient, things are transforming drastically within the next few months. And some of those things that you feel like will never happen might actually happen within the next few months if you take the advice given here. And if you, work on yourself and they work on themselves, you're going to see some drastic change in the next few months. A yes answer and a wait answer. Yes, it'll happen. Just wait a little bit longer. Gosh darn it. We are in our gibbous moon energy right here. You are so close, but stop being impatient. And I know it's so hard. I should be listening to this advice too. Honestly, I'm a very impatient person, but to temper out that impatience, Spirit's saying, focus on you. And when this other person who you're waiting around for, this situation that you're waiting around for, this development that you're waiting around for, when they see that you're out here living your best life, doing your own thing, taking your opportunities, grabbing life by the balls, that is when they're going to be like, wait a second, I want a part of that. Maybe I should pick up the pace because this person is going to be moving forward. And you know what? I also just feel really guided to say right now, if this is you, the stingray person, instead of threatening your person that you are going to possibly move on in the time that they're taking forever, in a very verbal way, because that could be that thing of like lighting the fuse, right? Instead of saying that, just live your best life, just focus on you, just do your own thing, hang out with your friends, do your health goals, focus on whatever your goals are, focus on that, okay? Focus on bettering you and glowing and thriving and, taking good pictures or like whatever you need to do to feel your best version, when you focus on that, when you pour that cup of love you have into yourself instead of into this situation that you're just waiting and waiting and waiting, that is when this thing is going to come. I'm going to stop pouring my energy into this waiting duck situation, and I'm going to start pouring that into healthy habits and myself so that I grow and glow. And then when you're pouring that energy into yourself, you're in this glowing energy where you are attracting opportunities like a moth to flame all the time. And that's when that positive momentum really starts to build, right? So yeah, you are in a waiting period, yes. Spirit is saying yes, of course, but don't be mad at us. We're giving you the key to get out of this waiting period within a few months. You just need to listen to us here. But we have a big yes answer, so I do feel like someone's coming around. If you're waiting for a proposal, I really want to say that, this is a really accurate reading. If you're waiting for some type of commitment or elevated commitment, not just proposal in like marriage, but like some type of growth, like you're elevating, you're escalating the relationship in a way. If you're waiting for that right now, I would say this is a very accurate reading for you. Okay, so now we're going to ask the romance angels, what's next in love? What advice do they have for you? And then we're going to get some channeled messages for you folks who are already in a relationship or dealing with someone. And then we'll be done. So romance angels, what do you have to say? What do you have to say? Any day. we're pulling into your energy right now. Any day. Come on, universe. Where's it at? We really feel your energy, guys. All right, we're gonna pull a few cards. Taking matters into our own hands. How about that? Anyways, the first card that popped out was reconciliation. I do not feel like this is a past energy, so I just want to clarify that off the bat. I feel like this is reconciliation in the sense that you might have had a spat. You might have had an argument, some type of big relationship energy, withdrawal, and in the bank of love, in the bank of this relationship, in the bank of self-care, you took a big withdrawal out, an argument, going into a negative coping skill or habit, and this is showing healing from that. Healing is taking place, So that's really good energy. We have true love. Yes, this is the romance of a lifetime. And that word lifetime keeps popping up for me. Like you're looking for a life partner, I feel. So, yeah, we see that here. Deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. I feel the oyster is not lying per se, but it's like they have a hard time being their self authentically. They wear the mask of society. They wear the mask of, well, I think this is the right thing to do, instead of the mask of, this is my authentic nature. We have flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. Flirting is like a relationship deposit, I want to say. Keeping things lighthearted and fun and, returning back to this flirtatious energy really is the healing balm to reconcile after some type of argument. So also, if you're single, getting out there being flirty, it's what harm is it doing? We have, this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. And I feel like you're very much in this energy. Like, this could be my life partner. This could be something that can be really, really good. But again, for many of you, there's this sense of just kind of waiting to see if it's going to happen. Waiting and seeing if you both can heal properly and create this nice partnership. So that is interesting. Now we are going to get some channeled messages, because why not? All right, so if you felt like the oyster and the stingray in this is two different people, you and somebody you already know, someone you're already in a relationship with, or, maybe it's like a lover or someone you've been dating or seeing recently, we're going to get some channeled messages. So starting with the oyster to the stingray, what would the oyster say to the stingray person if they were 100% honest and accurate about all their feelings when it comes to this connection? What would they say if they were being honest? Okay, those two flipped over. Okay. We have the 10 of Cups. Yes, this connection is all-consuming in the healthiest way possible. I love you. Oh, the 2 of Cups, not the 10 of Cups. I'm sorry. Deepening commitment. There's that message again. They feel the same way, even though they're like slow or something. New romance and strong passion. And equal give and take, emotions declared and reciprocated, mutual feelings. Yeah, this oyster person is really hard to read, I feel, if you're the stingray person. They keep things kind of locked up, but they are very much into you. Very much into you. And I do feel some type of growth that will be happening. And again, 2 of Cups, on the actual tarot, it depicts 2 people holding their own individual cups of personal fulfillment, which is exactly what we said in the beginning. You need to first focus on filling your own cups, getting your own crap together so that you have something to offer when you are in a partnership. And then once you are both taken care of, that's when abundance can happen. That's when growth can happen. And even if you already are in a committed relationship, you might not have your 2 cups filled, and that can cause problems, that can cause arguments, and it kind of stunts the growth of the relationship. So again, go back to basics, focus on your own stuff individually, right? So that you can show up authentically in this relationship. The Lovers, oh my God. We have to make a mature decision about this relationship. I ... think I love you. Okay, here's love again. Again, love, 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 coming from the oyster. We need a future that's fulfilling for the both of us. How can we make this more fulfilling? Soulmate energy, I saw that earlier too. Love decisions, love yourself first. See all these repeating messages coming out? This really, I do feel like this is a soulmate relationship with a lot of potential to be a lifelong partnership if you want it to be. But, again, you're going to have to work together and have open communication about this. And, honestly talk to each other. What can we both do on an individual level that will make us be able to show up better in this relationship? It might be taking better care of yourself in whatever way, health-wise, financial-wise, mental health-wise. Take care of yourselves individually and have a conversation. What can we do to be a better partner for each other? We have the Queen of Cups. All of these very deeply emotional cards, guys. These are all really good relationship cards. I protect my energy because I am psychic, empathetic, and into non-mainstream topics. But once I make a connection, I will treasure and love you deeply. I see the Queen of Cups in the oyster as an animal too. It starts out with, I protect my energy. That's the shell. Because I am psychic, empathetic, and into non-mainstream topics. That's the pearl inside, their glowing, beautiful, radiant self. Lots of Cancer energy going on over here, by the way. They have a high emotional intelligence. They're falling in love. There's that word again. Loving behavior, motherhood and creative projects, psychic connection. Yeah, big time in love over here. The oyster is. But they will open up. I really do feel that. And we have the 2 of Swords. Ooh, this is exactly the indecision card, to a T. I am protecting my heart right now. We see that in the shell as well. The unknown scares me. We see that. And look at that. It literally says, the unknown scares me. And then if you look closely at this card, here they are at a breaking point, at a stop in the road, and they have to choose to go into the unknown or go into the unknown. That's their only 2 options to move forward. And right now they're sitting here because the unknown scares them. They're like, but that's scary. Oh, So I don't make any emotional decisions. Yeah, and that's them standing here emotionally in this relationship, not moving forward because they're scared of the unknown. And the only way forward is to go into the unknown and not know exactly what's going to happen and to just trust what their gut and what their feelings are telling them. I can't make a decision right now. So they're at a stalemate. They're weighing options. There's a temporary timeout, taking time to think, afraid to leave the comfort zone. This is going to have to be a temporary process because things change no matter what. I think that's the one fatal flaw of this oyster person over here, is that they are afraid of the unknown, and that's why they're taking things so slowly, and it is really frustrating for the stingray. But other than that, they have nothing but love, okay? They're just really afraid of the unknown and going out of that comfort zone. Oh, okay, before I get into this, I want to actually clarify one more thing. I want to ask, so for the stingray person, if you are the stingray person, what can you do here to help the oyster be more comfortable going outside of their comfort zone, if that makes sense? What advice do you have for the stingray person, Spirit, to navigate this annoying quality the oyster has of being afraid of leaving their comfort zone? Okay. The 5 of Swords reversed. Oh man, yeah, this is a card of, you know what, like, my life is moving forward with or without you, like, I'm growing. Like, don't wait for this person. Does that make sense? Like, don't just sit in this waiting energy that makes you uncomfortable. Grow. Be in that energy of migration that we saw down here. Okay, in your own personal life, you know, this doesn't, I mean, like, you don't have to wait around for this person, and I mean, like, you can break up with them if you want. Like, no one's saying you have to stay here. No one would ever, no spirit guide, no loving spirit guide will sit here and force you to wait around when you want growth. However, if you do want to stay with this person and to, you know, wait for this person, they're saying don't sit in the energy of waiting. Does that make sense? So, like, in your own personal life, you know, grow and be in this energy of moving forward with or without them. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Anyways, back to what we were doing. So, what would the stingray say to the oyster if they were completely open and honest about all of their feelings here in this relationship? Eee. Oh God. Oh God. Okay. We have 3 cards that came out. Is there anything else? Okay, 4. All right. So, oh wait, no, there was another one. Okay, you have 5. I just can't count. We have the Knight of Wands. I want to tell you everything and move things. Wow. Excuse me. That took me by surprise because holy crap, this is everything we were just saying. I want to tell you everything and move things along swiftly. Yeah, they're just wanting to move things along swiftly. Stingray person, you might be a current or former player, just saying. Networker, traveler, visitor, very talkative, loves telling stories, you know, going on these lifelong tangents, impatient, we said that so much. They're taking things too fast, okay? You're just in this very fast moving energy here, yeah. We have the 4 of Wands. I want to put down roots with you while also enjoying this honeymoon phase. Yeah, the stingray just wants forward momentum. Like, I'm seeing many of you are actually just really wanting engagement with this person, like to be engaged to this person in marriage, or like to just be committed, to like have that kind of symbol that represents growth. I feel like that might be really important or something you really want. Or like you like there's just I'm getting a really big sense from the stingray to move things forward in a sense of like, I want to be a life partner with you, you know? However that looks for you. Domestic happiness, enthusiasm for the relationship, marriage and celebration, artistic projects with the oyster. We have the Tower. I have something to tell you that might be shocking. Ooh, what is it, Stingray? Leave it down below. I want to know. This is an intense connection, an intense attraction for them. Lots of sexual intention. You know, sexual tension. You know, we saw that with the moon card with all the bulging and stuff going on there. You know what I mean? We have something is changing. Sudden change beyond your control. Whatever they have to say will shake the foundation of this connection. Or maybe if you are the stingray, you did say something that shook the foundation of this connection. The Tower card is kind of like lighting that fuse we were talking about earlier. So I would say be very careful with your words if you're the stingray here, you know. Don't try to force the oyster. Oh, it's a really tricky situation. That's why this has a fuse on it, because it's like the oyster has nothing but pure love and really good energies towards the stingray. It's just your only thing is that they're moving way too slow here. And I feel like if the stingray were to come into this connection just wanting to, like, don't bulldoze the whole connection down out of anger or resentment or impatience. Does that make sense? I don't know. Like I said, it's going to have to require some finesse where, like, you talk to the oyster and, you know, in some way with a lot of skill and tact, you are able to kind of get it through their head that, like, you need some type of growth. Like, not necessarily putting an ultimatum on things or trying to force or push. It's just, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. Maybe things will get clearer. The world, you are my world. I'm committed and will literally do anything for you. I worship you. Long-term commitment, long-term energy. Them titties, though. Lots of, again, sexual energy coming from the stingray. Deeply attracted to you on all levels. Complete happiness. Yeah. I really do feel like the stingray, like, I'm feeling most of the stingray people present watching this video want marriage. They want something really long term. Like, they want to build a life with the oyster. And I feel that the oyster is very much moving slowly, but my God, do they want the same things. Like, and I feel that the oyster knows with the Lover's card that they have to make a decision, because the stingray person isn't going to wait around and be patient forever. I feel like they're already aware of that, but they're just not doing it right now. So again, if you're the stingray, I think the best way forward here is to start moving forward in your own personal life separate from this relationship, and show the oyster that you're moving forward, you're growing no matter what. Okay, with or without them. They can be a part of it or not, whatever. 7 of Cups. I don't know what I want. I overthink everything. I daydream about this connection, but I have a hard time trusting my emotions. Yeah, I feel like, you know what visual I just got in my head? I got a visual of, like, a kid walking with their older parent anywhere, and they keep running, and then they have to stop and turn around and wait for the parent, and then they keep running ahead because they're excited, and then they have to stop and turn around and wait for the parent. And, you know, the parent's just walking at a very equal, even pace, but, like, this kid is so excited, so they're just like, ah, and then they're like, oh, come on, I'm impatient, come on, and they have to stop. And then it's just like, if they just walked at an even pace the whole time anyways, like, with the with the parent, you know, we wouldn't be feeling so much impatience and anxiety. So I wonder if the stingray people in this reading might have, like, ADHD or limerence, or just getting really excited bursts where they just want change now, but then they have to just wait for the oyster to catch up. And, you know, the oyster's moving at it like a very even pace, I want to say, forward. Whereas the stingray person just runs and then feels like they have to just stop and not move forward at all. And then they run and then they have to stop. So we're moving at different paces. So I think, you know, we need to kind of balance that out. But otherwise, this looks like a really nice connection that does seem to be growing and moving forward. You know, there's just that one thing of, like, not being down with the pace. All right. So thank you guys for joining me. Lots of love in your future. Like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And I will see you for the next reading. Bye. Hello, group number 2. Thank you for joining me. So how this reading is going to work is we have one person over here, another person or situation over here that is going to represent your love life. So if you're currently talking to someone, or if you're dating around and think you might find someone, one energy will be you, one energy might be the person you're in a relationship with or someone you are dating. Or if you're as single as a Pringle, not interested in talking to anyone right now, one side is going to represent you, and the other side can represent the situations going on in your life that are kind of playing a factor into your future love life. So if that makes any sense. So use your intuition and figure out which side is which. yeah, let's just dive right into it. So, person number 1 is being represented by the elk in reversed. Very beautiful card. This honestly does not come out that often, to be honest. I'm getting a lot of earth energy, but also fire energy, because the elk, I think of elk as very earthy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, but then these colors here are really reminding me of fire. So, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Okay, any of those signs might apply. So I haven't really worked with the elk spirit guide that often, but my first intuitive nudges and feelings with this spirit animal coming up to represent person 1 is this is someone who's very practical, I want to say, very logical. I'm almost getting like this vision of someone who's like, they come across as very normal in a way. It's really hard for me to describe the energy I'm picking up. It's like, it's not that they're super duper independent, but it's like, maybe they have been single for a really long time, and it's not that they were closed off to love, but it wasn't their main focus. That's the thing I want to say. I feel like person number 1, it's really that love and romance isn't necessarily their main focus in life. They're off doing other things, but it kind of happens that, while they're off living their own adventure, their own life, it's almost like love or this relationship opportunity kind of just found them. And yeah, like they're open to making it happen. Like it just kind of seems that they stumbled upon love in some weird way. They stumbled upon a relationship while just trying to survive and meet their needs. It's really interesting. I feel that this elk person, when they do love, when they are in a relationship, they're very protective over their loved one. And I almost feel like they're not usually a very jealous person. But it's almost like this relationship is so special to them that it can kind of bring out some of their more jealous tendencies in a way. You know how elk and other animals similar to the elk with these antlers here, they butt heads, literally. Like they literally spare in order to like see who's the stronger male and compete for the attention of ladies, right? That's kind of what I'm feeling from this. Like this person normally is not jealous, they're not competitive, but then there's just something about this connection that really stirs up this like almost masculine energy within them. And I want to clarify, this does not have to be a man at all. This can be any gender, I don't care. But this connection, this relationship is stirring up just this need to like defend whoever it is. If this is you, you're like, yeah, this person I'm dealing with needs to be defended at all costs. They are so innocent and cute, like and maybe if this is you, you might be feeling some little jealous streaks, but you're not typically a jealous person. So it's interesting. This connection, this situation is making person number 1 here really feel things that they never felt before, I want to say. Fascinating. So the energy that they're carrying is the world in reverse. Yeah, this person really did not expect love to happen. Like they are dealing with so many new emotions. Like a whole new world to them has opened up because this connection, this development is coming forward. I'm seeing like a vision of someone just like really truly not giving love and romance that many thoughts. Like maybe they even thought they were asexual or aromantic, and then suddenly, nope, I don't think that's the case. Like this person comes around and it's just like, oh man, I'm feeling all these feelings. Why am I feeling competitive? Why am I feeling jealous? Why am I feeling like, I don't want to say obsessed, but like really protective? And like this just opens up a whole new can of worms for them, a whole new world of emotions. This elk person is very mature and wise in many areas of life, but I feel like there's something humbling about this love scenario for them. All right, we have the owl coming out for them. Wisdom, like we said, advancement, independent thinking, enlightenment. Yeah, this person here is really smart. and wise. You know, I feel like they can give some really sage advice, very down to earth. They have a very down to earth energy in any area of life, but they feel like a fool when it comes to love. When it comes to romance, they're just like, I don't know what to do. But also, this is a very free thinking individual. They're very they're not caught up in the matrix, I would say. They might even be a bit progressive in the way that they think. Well, I don't want to say progressive, because I also feel like they see value in the past and certain traditions and stuff like that. They're very balanced, very, very wise, really wise. There is like this sense of, I don't know, almost supernatural wisdom within them. And it's really funny because I feel like they are so great at giving other people advice. And even in their own life, they come across as very put together, but there's just something about their own love life that just turns them into a fool. Like, all that wisdom goes out the door and they don't know what to do and they feel like a babbling idiot. Oh man, it's just really funny to me. I'm sorry. But yeah, really smart person we have here. And completion with the solar plexus chakra. It's really actually interesting that we have completion and the world card in reversed, because both of these messages are talking about the ending of one cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. You know, one really sad ending is also simultaneously a really exciting new beginning. Like if we see in this picture, like, yes, this person is mourning, they're really sad, you know, they just lost their friend. But then the spirit is really happy because, you know, they lived a successful life and they're being reunited with all these loved ones. So it's kind of like, even though it's like a bittersweet thing, you know, sad because there's an ending, but happy that there's a new beginning. And I feel that if this is you or the person you're dealing with, whoever it is, they're at this precipice, this empty space between chapters in a way. You know, where one area of life might be coming to a close and another one is coming to an open. Really interesting. Also, some of you guys, this might be a weird confirmation message. If you have someone particular in mind, or if you're in a relationship, this person might have had someone pass away at around the time that you met them, or the time you guys started getting serious, or maybe even recently. So that might be a confirmation message for some people watching, but obviously that is not going to apply to everyone. Really interesting energies there. We'll get back to them in a second. Let's tap into person number 2 in this connection, or what have you. The golden egg in reversed. Interesting. You know what? I don't think I'm going to read these in reversed. I all of them have come out in reversed for you and group number 1, and I haven't even been like really particularly paying attention to the reversals. This is a really powerful card, and I really just want to say the energies I'm getting from the both of you are, you're both really intelligent, and like not even just intelligent but wise also. There's like this profound sense of being an ancient earth spirit. I know this is going to sound so weird for some of you. Like, you're both ancient earth spirits, or there is a part of who you are as a person that is an ancient earth spirit. Now, I am a believer, you know, I'm a medium. I talk to people, living, dead, spirits of all kinds. I feel like everyone's personal spirit is a mixture of many things, right? So it's not like, and you know, we have some people here that say, you know, I'm an earth angel, or I'm a Pleiade, or whatever. I don't think it's that simple. I feel like most people are a mixture of things. So, you know, you can be whatever, but there's definitely a shared attribute here where you're both ancient earth spirits in human form living this lifetime. You're both very much you might both be very passionate about global warming and environmental protection and legislation. Also just very passionate about humans in general and fair treatment of humans and animals, and like just, you both have this sense of wanting to take care of the earth. But I don't think you consciously are like, yeah, my mission here is to take care of the earth. Maybe you are, but like, you know, you both have passions and ideologies that are aligned with the protection and healing of earth. Not that earth needs to be healed, but I think there's definitely some things that need to be brought back into alignment if the human race is to continue surviving, because Mama Earth's going to be fine. Whether we're going to be fine is up in the air right now, but you're both very passionate about maintaining this sense of balance with the ecosystem. And like, I'm just getting these ideas of like, yeah, we're just humans are animals too, and we're no better, no worse. And you know, we're a part of this ecosystem, and we're throwing the ecosystem out of whack when we are taking too much of it, and it's like causing us to suffer. And like, oh my gosh, and like connecting it to like religious or spiritual ideologies, like, and that throwing the earth out of balance was the original sin or whatever. I don't know. I'm getting some weird some weird tangents going on between the two of you. Maybe that's something you bond over. Maybe you have really deep talks with each other, but you're both like these protectors of earth who are very spiritually connected and open-minded and very aware of what's really going on here when most people are unaware of what's going on here being the planet and our place in the cosmos. So interesting energy. Speaking of energy, what energy is the golden egg person carrying? Deceit in reverse. So this actually is not a bad card in reverse. I feel that in the past, you know, there might have been some more like kind of closed off communication with the golden egg person here. Or, you know, if this is representing your past and what you've dealt with in the past, you might have dealt with deceit in the past, deceitful individuals, and having this card in reverse is a really good sign that confirms that you're no longer going to be dealing with deceitful individuals anymore. This is a really good sign from the universe for those of you watching, that no matter whether you picked the golden egg or the elk person to represent you, you know, there's no more people who, like, you don't have any karma around being lied to anymore. You don't have any experiences waiting for you where you're going to meet people who are deceitful in order to teach you some type of karmic lesson from a past life. You know, all of that negative past life energy is on the way out in your life. And so this is a really good confirmation that you can trust. Okay, you can trust. And if you are working with someone right now, if you are seeing someone right now, and you're kind of scared, like, you know, can I open up to them? Are they hiding something? Are they being deceitful? I think, you know, they're just a little shy, and they might, you know, need some taking time to like warm up, and you know, there might need to be some conversations around having open communication and, you know, the things that you expect in terms of communication and how often you would like to communicate, you know, those types of conversations about, you know, expectations might be needed. But yeah, I think this is a nice, honest connection here, and there might be some fears around, you know, can I trust, you know, is this person being deceitful? And the answer is no. So joy coming out as the chakra for the golden egg person. They're really happy to be here, really joyous, vibing, living their best life. And again, if this is like representing just kind of your external situations in life, you're starting to embrace joy and love more, and you're moving out away from this energy of healing from past lies, healing from deceit, healing from, you know, just really negative energies. And I'm even looking at this card, and it's almost like they have like a almost demonic face almost. So you know what this is reminding me of? So being a medium, when I was going through darker times in my life, I would get attacked by like demonic entities a lot. And like sometimes when I would like walk past a mirror in like a dim room and look in the mirror, I would like kind of appear to myself for a brief moment like looking like this type of person, like just evil and like, you know, weird. It was a strange moment in time. So I almost wonder if you guys have similar experience, if any of you watching have similar experiences to that, or if, you know, you have paranormal experiences that were with negative entities. That is also coming to a close. And I can promise you, like, when you really do shadow work and you raise your vibration genuinely and you evolve and you grow, you know, even if you have negative entities pop up for you in your life, your vibration is so high that they can no longer do anything. Actually, I want to tell you a story surrounding that. So there's this spirit called the Hat Man that some of you guys might be familiar with. It's like this shadow figure that's all black, like all shadows, no defining features, whatever. And they have like a top hat looking, not a top hat, a fedora silhouette, like they're wearing a fedora and like a trench coat. And a lot of people, like all throughout time and history, report seeing this shadowy figure, like in what's it called, like when you're like sleep paralysis or nightmares, or even in waking life. Sometimes this weird figure will come and just watch, and it's really, really creepy. It's really frightening. And, you know, there's a lot of parallels between people's stories. Like, they can't wake up the people around them, and, you know, they can't move, or like, you know, it's just straight up fear. But like, it's not attacking the person, they're just observing. It's just a really creepy entity. So anyways, I was having a conversation because I saw something about Aaron Rodgers, the football player, like seeing this entity or whatever. So I was talking about it with someone, and I'm like, wow, oh my god, like I used to have experience with this entity. I didn't like physically see it, but it would show up in my mind's eye when I was looking into the distance in the nighttime. And like, I'm a very vivid clairvoyant person, so like it's hard to describe. It's not like it was actually, I'm seeing it with my own two eyes. You know, I have control over my physical senses, but like most of the time it was like very strongly just popping into my mind, like an intrusive thought for a while. And like, no one introduced me to this idea, it just happened. And then I later figured out other people had this experience. Anyways, I was talking to someone about that, and then that night he showed up in my dream. But instead of being paralyzed with fear and letting that entity like continue surviving by feeding off of my fear, my sleep self is honestly perpetually joyous now. I used to have so many horrible nightmares, but like I'd done a lot of inner healing work, and I swear like my astral self is just happy 24/7, like almost always. So anyways, I saw this very frightening thing, and I was struck with fear for like a couple of seconds because I wasn't expecting that figure to show up. But then I'm like, oh my god, I was just talking about you, like. And then I ran up to him and I'm like, let me interview you, I have so many questions. Who are you? Where do you come from? And I was really in this joyous state. And then because that entity could not feed off of my fear, it just went away just as quickly as it came up. And I was actually kind of disappointed. I'm like, man, like I had the opportunity to be like, bro, how old are you? Where did you come from? Why are you, like, what are you doing? And obviously they did not they could not be around me for very long, because such a negative vibrational being, you know, they can't manifest themselves into the reality of someone who's higher vibrational. So I feel really weird that I'm kind of explaining all this to you. I wonder if you guys watching experiment with mediumship, or you've experienced mediumship or something like that. But even if you haven't, the same thing applies in your everyday life. You know, like if you're not a vibrational match to someone or something anymore, you're not going to attract those experiences into your life. With that being said, you know, if you've learned all the lessons you had to learn from, you know, connecting with deceitful people, which, you know, one of the attributes that can actually attract you towards being hurt by deceitful people is by deceiving yourself and hiding yourself and being out of alignment with your truth. So I feel like you've done a lot of inner healing work around that. And so this is Spirit's confirmation. Like, yeah, you're not in energetic alignment with that anymore. So you don't have to worry about it anymore. So that's a beautiful message. Anyways, golden egg person. Faith coming out. Hope, inspiration, cooperation, rejuvenation, admittance, and allowance. I'm getting really positive energies from both of you, really. I feel like the golden egg person's giving me this really cute, positive, whimsical, magical earth spirit energy. And I feel like the elk person is giving me this grounded, logical, kind of masculine, earth spirit energy. So it's like you're very different, but very much the same. And you're both really, really smart, really wise. And I almost wonder if both of you are like spiritual or spiritually inclined, because we have, like, I don't know, like I just went off on a whole tangent about mediumship and spirits, and I don't know, it's really very, very interesting. I'm getting a lot of similarities between the two of you. So with all of that being said, what's next in love for you and this person? I also want to know, comment down below, are you the elk or do you resonate more with the golden egg? I feel like many of you might be the golden egg if I had to predict. I also love the solar plexus energy that the golden egg person is giving off. And then this elk person has a lot of orange. They're giving me a lot of sacral chakra energy. So we have confidence and life force. Like this person's just a beacon of light and energy and dancing and movement and like just a lot of positivity. They're like, you know, a sunflower. And then this elk person is very like creative and sensual, practical. So it's just a really cute combination of things. And also both of those chakras are closer to the earth, closer to the physical realm. That doesn't make you any more or less spiritual or having psychic abilities. You know, I think there are kind of multiple places within the body where psychic abilities are derived. You know, you have your upper chakras, your third eye, but then you also have your gut and your physical instincts, right? I feel like you two are very much connected to earth in some way. Anyways, what's next in here according to tarot? We have the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, I love this card. I feel like you both have done a lot of kind of inner healing work, and it's paying off. Like you're attracting really good stuff in your life, you know? So that's really great. Very simple as well. Also, with this six of Pentacles, I feel like this is a connection where there's a nice equal give and take here. And so it's just really nice because I almost feel like for the golden egg person specifically, they might have been in a situation where they gave a lot more to relationships than they were receiving. And yeah, it's just not a nice feeling. So it's really good to see, you know, them connecting with someone who's going to give just as much that they do. We have the Magician card in reversed. Oh my god, there's that dove again. I was just telling group number 1, like this white dove symbol is following me everywhere for the past 2 days. Like the dove spirit is hardcore working with me right now. Thus working with the people I give readings for, like you. So that's really interesting. I would look into the dove spirit if I were you. Like just go online and be like, dove spirit meaning, or you know, dove totem meaning, like dove spirit guide meaning. Or just think about doves and connect with whatever wisdom that they bring to earth. You know, what are their special qualities? They're very loving, you know, very loving to their partners, and again, very equal. I think out of all the animal species, they are one of the best to represent equal parenting. You know, the males and female parents, they do equal labor in the upbringing of their children. So, and they love each other and they choose each other for life. They're very loyal. Anyways, the Magician card in reversed is an interesting turn of events here, because I feel like the Magician in reversed is my douchebag card, you know? This is someone who is trying to control the situation. And so I almost wonder if you guys or someone here, or maybe even both of you in this connection, have been hurt in the past by manipulators. You know, I feel like the Magician in reverse is a card of manipulation, and we have the Deceit card here as well in reversed, but I'm feeling this more so as past energy. And you know, maybe as you get to know this person, that past energy is triggered, and through this healthy connection, you will be able to overcome those triggers. The only problem is, I feel like if you've been hurt like this before, it's going to be important for you to understand, you know, whether it's just your own trauma that's being triggered or if this is genuinely a red flag, and that's something that people who have been betrayed in relationships with, or people who have been betrayed in relationships before, struggle with. Sometimes their first healthy relationship, or even any relationship after that abuse or that neglect or that betrayal, a lot of normal things can appear as a red flag. It can appear as like, oh my gosh, is this a sign that they're lying? There's a little bit of, I think relationship PTSD is a lot more prevalent in society than many people are aware of. And I think that's something that psychologists should look more into. And so there might be an element of that here where there might be fears triggered in the beginning of the connection. But I really want you to ask, did this person give me reason to not trust them? Did this person give me reason to not be compatible with them? It might be hard for you to discern, especially the elk person, because remember we said that they're this bumbling idiot in relationships, but they have everything else in order and they give really good advice. I almost wonder if, that's part of their story here as well. They've been manipulated in the past, or they just lost someone, or been through some type of trauma. And now they have a really hard time discerning, is this a genuine red flag, or is this just my own trauma being triggered again? So, interesting stuff. And the Lovers reversed. Interesting. I am now starting to question, are some of you guys, is this someone you are in separation with or not together with at this moment? Or you're contemplating breaking up with someone? What is this? What is this? The Lovers in reverse, this is a card of making a relationship decision, but making a decision to leave someone, to end something. Should I end this? Is this person manipulating me? Are they a narcissist? Maybe someone watching definitely Googled, signs of narcissism in your partner recently or something like that. And I don't know what to say. I will leave it to the angels. How about that? Who am I to give advice? I just leave it for the angels. So, angels of love and romance and spirit guides, group number 2 for love and light, the highest path of all. What advice do you have for group number 2 at this time? And what's next in love? What's next in love on their highest path? If you believe, and there's that solar plexus again. Yeah, I feel like there's some energetic healing that's needed here. Definitely get some Reiki or distant healing sessions. Honestly, okay, not trying to put anyone out of business here, but if you're low on the monies, if you go on YouTube, you are on YouTube. Okay, so you're on YouTube, right? A channel I really like is Meditative Mind. They create meditation music, and they have, my favorite thing to do is just to put some meditation music on some headphones and then just sit in the complete darkness and close my eyes in bed, just laying down with that meditation music and visualizing the energy healing that I need to do. And honestly, anyone can do energy healing and energy work. It's actually pretty easy. So go ahead and do that. Throw on some solar plexus chakra music if you want. And with this If You Believe card, the song, If You Believe in Life After Love. What is the lyrics to that? Hold on a second. Okay, I really just felt guided to look up the lyrics to this song. You can go ahead and listen to it. It might have some messages there for you. This is a share song, and it's, no matter how hard I try, you keep pushing me aside, and I can't break through. There's no talking to you. It's so sad that you're leaving. It takes time to believe it, but after all is said and done, you're gonna be the lonely one. Do you believe in life after love? I can feel something inside me say, I really don't think you're strong enough. No. What am I supposed to do? Sit around and wait for you? Well, I can't do that, and there's no turning back. I need time to move on. I need a love to feel strong because I've had time to think it through, and maybe I'm too good for you. Well, I'll get through this because I know that I'm strong and I don't need you anymore. Yeah, that's the lyrics. Wow. Okay, so that might have had some messages for some of you. If you believe, what are your beliefs surrounding love and this relationship right now? If you're in a relationship, do you believe that this person is not on your level, like low key, like maybe you feel you're more emotionally intelligent than them? Do you believe that they're genuinely having bad intentions for you? Or is that just a fear in your mind? Like, do you genuinely believe that? Or is it just fear in your mind? I want you to evaluate your beliefs around either this relationship, around love in general, around your approaches in love. There's something that needs to be healed here. There's something off, okay, with the Lovers in reverse, with the Magician in reverse. What's going on here, guys? Or and with the Elk person and the World card in reverse and completion, are you on the precipice of a breakup? Are you contemplating a breakup? Are you at a breaking point in your relationship and need some advice for moving forward? What is going on here? Leave a comment down below. All right. Can we get some more information, actually? Spirit, what the heck is going on here? Why are there these cards and these messages of breaking up or thinking about breaking up? What's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah. So many songs. I said, hey, what's going on? Okay, Four of Swords reversed. Taking a break. This is a card of rest. This is a card of separation. This is a card of being on your own. Taking some time for you. Whew. I'm really confused, guys. Not gonna lie. This reading is not very clear to me. What's going on here? And maybe you're not feeling very clear on what's going on either. Five of Pentacles reversed. Feeling left out in the cold. Feeling like a lack, feeling like something's missing, something needs to change, waiting for change to happen. And even in the song, we had that message of waiting and waiting. Oh, maybe you guys felt like you were waiting. I'm really confused. Okay. Romance angels, what's going on here? See, I'm not gonna pretend I know what's going on when I don't. Most readings I would say are pretty clear, but there are definitely readings where I'm just this is just really hard to read into this situation. Separation. Coming out again. We have all these messages of separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. Y'all, are you guys in separation with this person currently? And you can't stop thinking about them? Or are you thinking about separating with someone? Wow. Yeah. And it's weird because we saw that your energies are so similar, but still, I don't know why you're... Maybe that's why you can't stop thinking about them. I don't know. Or maybe there's just been issues in the connection in general, a failure to move on from the past and kind of grow. I do kind of see two people who might be kind of stuck in the past a little bit, or stuck in their past traumas, or maybe one of you are, and it's preventing growth in the present moment. I don't know. Romance angels, can you give me some more information here? Actually, let me just read this from the book because this message of separation keeps coming up. So let me just get it straight from the source. Separation. The romance angels are helping you during this time of separation from your partner. This card comes to you as an indication of angelic support as you spend time away from each other. While you're apart, the angels can help you fill your hours with healthy activities, which will help your present or future relationships. Also, I want to pause and say, even if you're still in a relationship with someone, there might have been a spat or something, an argument that is making you feel a little bit separated or distant right now. Or maybe, for some of you, it's not a bad separation. Like maybe you're just traveling or having to be away from each other for a period of time and you don't like it, and it's really causing you to be in your head about some things, and your romance angels are coming forward, and they are actually heavily helping you right now to kind of help you focus on other things, help you focus on healthy activities. And you might have even noticed just random people, like random friends wanting to hang out with you, random happenstances and invitations coming forward, and that's all from your angels. They're trying to like get you to not focus on love and relationship at this time, which is really interesting because the Elks energy originally, remember I said it's like almost like they're not super focused on love and relationship. And then when they are focused on this love and relationship, they're just really confused and they don't know what to do. That kind of all makes sense. Okay. Interesting. And I feel like a lot of healing will happen when you almost kind of pull back from the constitution of love and relationship itself, or like pull back and focus on your own healing in a way. If you're single, keep focusing on being single. This might be a sign, to fill your days, fill your hours with healthy activities. And doing so will help your future relationships. This card may indicate a temporary period of aloneness, such as while your partner is traveling for business, or a time in your life where you're single and preparing for your next relationship. Yeah, I kind of did feel that too, that many people who are single selected this group. So the healthy activities that you're filling your days with now are definitely going to bring you this partnership of, these two earthly spirit entities who are very similar that we were talking about earlier. Okay. It can also mean a marital separation or divorce. Call upon the angels for support and guidance during these transitions. They can help you discover the deep healing to be mined as you spend time alone, which prepares you for the next part of your relationship journey. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel like many of you have so many different situations. It's why it's confusing me, because it's like, some of you guys might be going through a divorce, but you're also currently seeing someone else. And like that would explain the confusing energies of like, well, you guys are so getting along, but why is this message of separation? Maybe others of you, it's like, you're just single right now. And we're also tuning into the energy of the person you'll be meeting in the future. So yeah, it could be all types of situations. Maybe you're in a relationship and you're just feeling a little bit, having to focus on your own self right now because they're traveling or doing whatever. Gotcha. All right. Or you're going through a separation, thinking about it, have recently been there, whatever. This is someone you are separated with. Totally get it. Okay. But the moral of the story is, what is in the near future is you will be doing a lot of healthy activities that are not focused on love. But in doing so, it is benefiting your love life. Does that make sense? All right, now we're getting the ball rolling. Now I'm starting to understand a bit better. All right, Mama Moon, come through with advice and predictions. What is next in the love life of group number 2? Okay. Full moon in Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture. I want to read this from the book too, so I'll do that. And your commitment is being tested. First quarter moon. Definitely the case if you're in a relationship and going through difficult times right now, contemplating leaving. Like, I definitely get that message of your commitment is being tested, especially if your traumas from the past are being triggered at this time. You really are being asked to like differentiate, is this, actually a red flag that my partner's showing me, or is it just my own trauma coming back to the surface? My own past fears and insecurities coming back to the surface and telling me that there's problems, Definitely. I definitely want to say, if you're in a relationship, it seems that there are some hard times currently. Even if like you absolutely love and adore your partner and they're literally just traveling or away or busy at work or whatever, that's not fun to deal with either. Yeah. Look at the bigger picture though. Full moon in Sagittarius. Let's read about it. Are you thinking too much about the details of your dilemma? Yeah. Fretting over how do you say that word? Minutiae? Whatever, can be counterproductive, or perhaps you're being all talk and no action. This card is a reminder that while it's good to think things through, sometimes you need to step back and look at the bigger picture. What do you see about your current situation? What's the most positive thought you can have about it? Now is the time to count your blessings, even if you don't yet have exactly what you want. I was definitely feeling that as well. I feel that many of you should be, instead of focusing on what you don't have or what's not working in this relationship, focus on what is working, focus on what you do have. Sometimes we can get into this pessimistic state, and it really, like we said earlier, when you're in that pessimistic or dark place, that's when these negative entities and energies can thrive, so it's like, focus on the positive here. And of course, I do not give advice for people in abusive situations. So if you're like in an abusive relationship, I'm not saying, well, just think on the positive. That is really awful advice. And if you're not sure if you're in an abusive relationship, look up the signs and be honest. Like, if they genuinely don't have those traits, like, don't sit here and like, whatever. You get the point. This card is also a reminder that we often have to take a few risks and go with uncertainty on this journey called life. Try to keep an open mind about what's for the best. The universe could surprise you. Take a time out for a mini break or adventure. This situation may have come around because you've been distracted. Be confident without being overconfident to win the day. Have you shown that you care? If not, now is the time, especially if you're in a relationship. Like, just showing that you care, showing that you love, that can really be the healing balm that you need sometimes in a relationship. Finding a balance between speaking your mind and saying too much. Life's an adventure, and there's a whole wide world to see beyond our backyard. It's about having fun and being prepared to sail into the uncharted territory. It's about the big ideas versus the details. No matter when you drew this card, it encourages you to look at the bigger picture. Have some fun, guys. Infuse more positivity and new experience into your own personal life, as well as any relationship you see yourself in right now. Sorry, I'm totally like hiccuping. But yes, definitely these cards are asking you to take on a more positive outlook on things and notice how you'll have a more positive reality and attract more positive things towards you. Okay, so what do I want to do now? Let's get... Oh, okay, a Lover's Oracle card. What's next in love? What's next in love for group number 2? Alright. Okay, that came flying out. Multiple cards. Again, these are the 2 cards. What's next in love? We have my beloved. Oh, though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united. For love transcends time and space. Nothing is missing. Guys, I was picking up on this. Like, a physical separation. Like, someone might be traveling. But not only that, if you're single, we're tuning into this earth spirit energy here, that's coming into your life. So this might be someone you haven't even met yet. And this is their higher self saying, my beloved, like, we might be physically apart, but spiritually we're always united. For love transcends time and space. Nothing is missing. And that is your future love, if you're single, coming in and sending you this message that, we're not actually separated. Nothing here is missing. So please stop taking on this mindset that you're missing something in life, that you're not going to be complete until you find me. Find your happiness right now in the present moment. Look at the bigger picture. Find your happiness right now in the present moment. And that is what is going to guide me towards you. That is what's going to guide my physical body towards your physical body. That is what love is attracted to. When you are having fun in life, when you are focused on you and pouring energy into into life, really, instead of into death. When you're pouring your energy into a fulfilling life, with or without romantic love, that is when the people who are meant to be in your life will become like a magnet to your soul. When you are taking care of yourself, when you are having fun, when you are thriving, when you are glowing, when you're in your magic energy, that is when the people who are meant to be in your life will become like a magnet to you. And that is also when people who aren't meant to be in your life will be repelled from you the most. So moral of the story is, stop thinking about what you don't have and start thinking about what you do have, okay? Stop focusing on the separation and focus on what's right in front of you that'll make you happy. And then we have this card. Beware of what you are projecting, for the qualities you admire in one another are qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. That's something to think about here. I'll put it up on the screen if you want to screenshot that and ponder over that deep message. Beware of what you are projecting, for the qualities you admire in one another are qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. That's something to really think about. You know, the people we are emotionally drawn to, who hold a lot of weight in our life, they are our biggest reflections for our own soul. And if they truly had no reflection to our own inner soul, they would not exist in our life. They would not even be on our radar. You know, your whole reality is just reflecting back the own inner energies that you carry. And so it's just a really interesting type of meditation, pondering sessions, shadow work, whatever you want to call it, to think about the people who carry the most weight in your life and think about how those people are reflecting back your own aspects, your own traits, and really think about it. Okay, so I feel like I need more. Let's get some more tarot cards here. Like, what's next in love? What's next in love? I feel like what's next in love, if you let it, is, you know, this reunification. And I ain't talking exes, okay? I ain't talking exes. Specifically, I'm talking, you know, enjoying this period of aloneness, this period of separation, this period of doing your own thing. And in that, you will be reunified with love and with those who are meant to be around you. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. I don't even know if I need tarot cards. I want to get some channeled messages, though. Let's just see if any tarot cards want to come out, though. All right, the Hanged Man. Yeah, it's like almost like you're in this period of waiting, like Cher said. You know, I want to say, instead of like focusing on what you don't have, instead of focusing on the waiting around for something to change, focus on what you can do for yourself right now. I think that would be a really good thing for you to do. Okay, really good thing that'll have a much bigger implication than you just waiting and pressuring and trying to force this situation to change. I think that's actually repelling the outcome you want. Whereas if you just like focus on you, you're golden. You're golden. That would be so much more productive for, you know, forward movement and momentum. Okay, so for those of you in a connection, or who were thinking of two people, you and someone else here, what does the elk person, if they were completely open and honest about their feelings to the golden egg person, what would they say? Channeled messages. What would they say if they were open and honest about their feelings towards the golden egg person? Love Shack, it's a little old place where we can get together. I wonder if they're thinking about a specific location where you might have like had some fun memories with that song coming up. Okay, we have the 10 of Pentacles. Let's get married, start a family, and buy our dream house. Well, that's very loving and nice of the elk person to think. Family, long-term commitment, similar values and culture, emotional maturity. Yeah, they're very similar people. So those are some thoughts that might be on the elk's mind. Also, 4 of Swords. I'm healing and reflecting right now. We need to pause this temporarily. I should probably get therapy. LOL. Yeah, like we said, there's definitely a pause, a wait, a separation going on here, which is interesting when paired up with the let's get married, start a family, and buy our dream house type of energy. But they're definitely like taking a break, needing some space mentally, needing a time to rest, in separation, recovering from past and present stress. Yeah, there's definitely, like we said, like there's a big shift going on in the elk person's life. You know, they're needing some time to just really like let events happen and move past them and heal and just experience like nothingness, like no more drama, just peace and like silence for a few moments, you know what I mean? But it's interesting because in the back of their mind, they also are having this energy of like, yeah, I do want to get married, have a family, and buy a house, which is really interesting. These are very like whatever's emotionally fulfilling for them, that's what they're wanting with the golden egg person. But it's just, there is this period of separation. So there's that. Knight of Swords, I want to tell you everything and move things along swiftly, which is interesting. So there is a sense of impatience, very talkative, taking things too fast. It's like also they might have been a current or former player, but I mean, yeah, it's a weird energy I'm feeling. It's really hard to describe. It's like they want the future now, but at the same time they feel like they need to take their time, they need space, or like they're just in separation, there's nothing they can do, even though they do like fantasize about like moving things along swiftly and like about this 10 of Pentacles, having a really solid future, but like it's just not currently here in the present moment for some reason. So now let's get some channeled messages for the golden egg person to the elk. What would they say if they were completely open and honest about their feelings with them? We have the moon. I have no idea where this is going. I'm just doing what feels right. There's confusion on where this relationship is heading for the golden egg person. The unknown is uncomfortable for them. They're following their intuition with this, though. It's a risky connection right now, but their psychic senses are guiding them. And they might even be having some psychic dreams, intuition, and also like just psychic experiences in general, I want to say, because when we were looking at the golden eggs card, there's a lot of like spiritual mediumship types of talks going on here. We also have Four of Wands. I want to put down roots with you while also enjoying this honeymoon phase. See, we have two people with similar goals. They want to put down roots, they want to get serious here. But right now, for whatever reason, we're just not talking about these things. Like, you're either in separation, you're both single, or like, there's just this energy of it's not moving forward right now. And you both have fours coming out, not moving forward. And again, marriage and celebration. The golden egg person might want enthusiasm for the relationship, domestic happiness, like artistic projects with them. These are two people who want each other, but for whatever reason, they're like separated or pausing or waiting in the moment. Oh, I wonder if some of you guys, this is a long distance relationship as well. I didn't even think of that. This could definitely be a long distance relationship, or like a military relationship, or like dealing with someone who's traveling for work. Oh, I just noticed this was upright. I don't know who this is for. These two, I have no idea who it is from each other. Maybe it's you guys to each other. Page of Pentacles, I have so much potential. You have so much potential. We have so much potential. Okay. Makes sense why, you're both thinking that this is a lot of potential. Someone just starting out, potential if both people are willing to work. Like, yeah, like, why is it that it's just like, this could work? Like, there's so much potential here, but why isn't it happening in the physical 3D realm? Leave a comment down below. Why isn't this happening? The Emperor, I want to establish a future with you. Let's be loyal partners. Yes, it's just this energy of I want this. Okay, then why isn't it happening, guys? Someone keep me in the loop. Why isn't this happening right now? You know what, y'all? Oh, God, this is the only thing bad about doing YouTube readings. I can't just ask you and you answer right now. Leave a comment, though. But in the meantime, I'm curious, so I'm pulling tarot cards. Why aren't these two, like, together, Spirit? What's going on here? Why aren't they together? Why aren't they together? I wonder if music is important for you guys. I've been getting a lot of like clairaudient messages through this reading, which is not my main way I usually get messages, but it does happen a lot. Okay, Nine of Wands. There's some fear going on here. And look, this is such a good, apt depiction of things. Two people who have been hurt, right? So they're like protecting their heart, wanting to move slowly, or like questioning, is this person even safe? Both of these people are trying to protect their wands, trying to protect their hearts, but they're both really weary and cautious of each other at the same time. That's so funny. I definitely feel that from you guys. Or maybe if you were in separation, or even if you're in a very precarious situation romantically, like long distance, for example, you don't want your heart broken, and long distance relationships in and of themselves can be heartbreaking. So it's like there's a wall up here. I feel like there's a wall up because you're both afraid of heartbreak for whatever reason, whether it's just the nature of this relationship itself or past injuries. We have the Page of Wands again. You're both really passionate about this. And look at that. It's an image depicting, this person. Oh, wow. Okay, first off, another song, Tuesday's Gone with the Wind by Leonard Skinner, just popped in my head. It's like, Tuesday's gone with the wind, my baby's gone with the wind. It's a song that he wrote about having to go on the road to, tour and, do his career, and leaving, his wife and kid at home. I'm pretty sure that's what that song's about. And we even see here, like, someone, like, really sad about leaving, really sad about walking away, but it's what they have to do. And they have this little cap on and these shoes, which remind me of Hermes, which is a god of traveling and also the trickster god, right? And I feel like when we're working with trickster gods, which is definitely the case because Mercury's in retrograde, Mercury is Hermes, one and the same. And currently, as I'm filming this, are in retrograde, meaning that you're in a relationship or love situation where it appears that things are moving backwards. Like, you're at a distance from each other, you're traveling, you're away from each other, maybe there was an argument, a separation, and it appears like things are moving backwards, but actually they're moving forwards. So, for example, like, if this is long distance, absence makes the heart grow fonder. This distance is only making you both love each other so much more. Or, this break in communication, this fight, this argument that you had, it brought to the table some really important problems that need to be resolved in order for you guys to have a healthy relationship. So it's like you're not happy about the current circumstances, but at the same time, these circumstances are growing you and are creating more love for your future that you will experience. So it's like, yeah, that's really, really interesting. And even in this deck, like the very particular way that the art has been drawn, like it is really showing with the energies we feel for this reading. So that's really interesting. Some of you guys might have a trickster god as a spirit guide. I am lucky to have one as one of my spirit guides, and it can be fun. But yeah, whenever there's a trickster god or goddess present, it definitely means you're definitely at a point where things look like they're going backwards, but they're actually going forwards. This is what I would say to that. All right, I kind of get it. I get what we're working with here. Yeah. Or like some of you watching, you might have went through a separation, you're not happy about it, but it's actually leading you to something much better. Yeah, so I definitely feel like group number 2, you're not happy wherever you're at currently. Just saying. But it's leading you to a lot of happiness, so I don't feel that bad for you because I can see the future and it's looking great, okay? Spirit, I want to ask what advice you would give to group number 2 for those who are currently in a committed relationship. Like, what relationship advice would you give those who are currently in a relationship? Forgiving and learning, yeah, especially if you've been getting into arguments. And I just saw 2828. It looks like you're moving backwards. It looks like, you're going over issues, but you're healing. The romance angels have heard your desire for great love, and they bring you this card as guidance. They see that your heart can give and receive the bliss of romance by clearing away the cobwebs of the past. We saw that in both of you, for sure. The angels know that you've been hurt before, and that you're wary of being hurt again. We see that. Yet your defenses are creating barriers to allowing love into your life. Yes. Oh my God. I want to say this could apply to single folks as well. As you heal your past, you won't keep recreating it. We saw that in Deceit Reversed. That was literally one of the first messages. As you heal your past, it's not going to pop up again because you won't keep recreating it. After all, you attract into your life the situations and the relationships that remind you of what you've already experienced, because that is a primary tool of healing. To change to a healthier relationship pattern, it's necessary to detoxify any old anger, blame, or unforgiveness you may be holding. This includes forgiving yourself. If you call upon the angels and ask them to help you release and heal your past, they'll clear away the heaviness so that your heart can soar with happiness. Ooh, let's do that right now because I need that too. Okay, angels, spirit guides, clear away the cobwebs of past hurt and resentment that I am carrying towards anyone. Guys, I'm talking anyone, because I just had such a breakthrough with this card, like with you guys. Like, I was just thinking to myself earlier, like, about, kind of like my biggest fear is like turning into like certain role models that I had in my life growing up. And then I was thinking to myself, wow, I think I actually like did in one regard. And when I look at that role model, like, I notice I still have some resentment towards them. And like, that's what this card's saying. That resentment you feel towards someone else, like, that is going to keep popping up in your life. You need to forgive and learn, not just like with your partner. Like, this is way deeper rooted, Wow, I had a breakthrough. Did you all feel that breakthrough? Because I did. All right. Anyways, lots of healing, and this will liberate your soul from karmic situations, and you'll definitely experience more love in the present moments as you do so, as I said. So thank you guys for joining me. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. We are going to do this by splitting it up into 2 little energy sections. One side's going to represent you, and the other side's going to represent the person that you are dealing with. Whether this is someone new coming in, or someone you've been dealing with, or someone you've been dating. If you're like super duper single and you have zero interest whatsoever in people right now, this can also represent you and just the situations that are going on in your external reality that are playing a factor into your love life and how it will unfold. So you're gonna have to listen to your intuition and figure out if you are in this side or that side, and see if it resonates with anyone in your life as well. Really use your intuition. Take what resonates, leave anything that doesn't. If none of this makes sense at all and you're like, what the heck, you can go back and select a different pile, or maybe there's just not any messages for you in today's reading. So let's begin. Person number 1 is being represented by the horse spirit. Beautiful earth energy. They can have significant Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo in their chart. They don't have to, though. This is a very mature, wise, majestic type of person. I really feel guided to say that this person might be going the long haul in their life. They might be taking a really long study program, or they might be having some really big long-term goals that require a lot of patience, a lot of stamina. Maybe for some of you, this is actually a runner, a marathon runner, or somebody who's into that. I'm getting so many different visions, but like, this is someone who can really see the long term in their life, and they might even be very health conscious for that reason. They have lifelong plans. They're mapping out their entire life, and I think when people do that, they really have this certain sense of maturity about them. They can see beyond instant gratification, they can see beyond the present moment, and they are really working hard towards something more long term in their life. And also, I feel like if that's how their mind operates, they probably view love the same way as well. Like, they don't want to get involved in situations where, it's just like where they're only like using the relationship for instant gratification. They're making healthy choices and wanting to, create something long term. Like, when they hook up with someone, their goal is to at least have like a lifelong friendship at the very least, which is really interesting. I love that. Love that energy. The energy that they're carrying is man holding a heart in reverse. All right, so I feel like this person may accidentally kind of shut down themselves emotionally. I just feel like even if their emotions are very blissful and loving and beautiful, they have a really hard time expressing that. And maybe, they hide their emotions behind this larger ambition, or they hide their emotions behind like, I'm like seeing lots of hair here. They might have really good hair. Random, like thick hair, I don't know. But we are seeing some difficulties right off the rip with this man holding a heart in reverse card coming out. This can indicate a difficult type of connection or relationship. This might be somebody who's really quickly, like they judge very quickly and they don't realize they're doing it. Not like judge, but like they're very criticizing, very critical. And I feel like this person actually does have a lot of self-doubts, a lot of fears in regards to what they have to offer. They have a lot of fears in what they can bring to the table in a relationship, which is why they're working so hard on their own goals, if that makes sense. Like maybe they're really ambitious with their career or with their studies because they want to offer something more in a relationship, but they don't realize, if they like actually opened up emotionally, that's all people want from them. I don't know. There's like an emotional disconnect here. It's not an emotional disconnect. Like they have tons of feelings, otherwise this card wouldn't come out. But yeah, you deserve honoring in any relationship, the book says. So set some boundaries and don't buy into this emotional chaos. Your soul longs for emotional peace. Ooh, I really feel that, guys. I feel that. It's strange. Right away, this person is giving me like, it's really difficult because I feel like there's a lot of loving energy here, but there's almost like emotional instability, because they aren't able to express their emotions in a healthy way, and then it can create this pattern of issues, kind of like very cyclically, where maybe things are really great and peaceful for like a week or two, and then like something will come up, or maybe they'll get a little emotionally distant, focusing on their goals, whatever. Like I don't know. I think a good mantra for you, whether you're this person or this person who we haven't talked about yet, is I deserve emotional peace. So their chakras, what's going on there? Prayer with the solar plexus chakra. Okay. This is interesting. So I feel like this person does want a future. If this is someone else that you're working with, they do want a future with you. I feel like they daydream and visualize, about that future, but I'm almost feeling like you guys are totally different in a way. I'm seeing these two different paths, One over here is like a farm, nature, country life, and then over here is like city, career, and I think that's on their mind. Like maybe you and this person have a lot of like actual practical differences. Like maybe you're totally a city person and they're a country boy or girl, or vice versa. Maybe you love and want to live in the woods and they want to live like right smack in the center of like a global city, like complete opposite energies. And they're just hoping and praying that this is somehow going to work. Okay. We have portal. Originality, idealism, progression, opening, accessing. I'm seeing some energies here, some thoughts on this person's mind of the future, of wanting to move forward, of wanting to open this relationship up, wanting a future here. Right away, I really do feel like you guys who selected group number 3, many of you are already in a relationship, but maybe that's not the case for some. We're gonna read into this person too before I get too ahead of myself. This person over here is being represented by the oyster. This came out for group number 1 too. But yours is like upright, and also I think it's important to note that the horse card did come out in reversed originally. I feel like some of the shadow attributes of that horse are apparent in this person, and I'm getting like workhorse vibes where they're like really focused on, they might be like, I don't want to say a workaholic, but like they're so focused on like work or studying or like some external goal, and I feel like they hide a lot of their emotions behind that. But then we have the oyster here, who's really sensitive. This is a water animal, really loving. They put a lot of value on relationships, but they feel like in this relationship they have to keep their shells closed. Okay. They have to keep their emotional walls up a little bit, because I don't know, it just feels like this man holding a heart in reverse card, like there's some, I feel like this horse person comes off as not like emotionally distant. What's the word? I mean, yeah, maybe a little bit emotionally distant, or like quick to, emotionally unstable because they don't know how to communicate about their emotions properly. And so I feel like this oyster person over here is kind of like, they have a really beautiful pearl of love to offer in this relationship, but they almost feel like they have to keep their walls up a little bit, like not 100% comfortable in this connection yet because of this. What energy are they carrying? Oh, man holding a coin in reversed. Wow, we have man holding a heart, man holding a coin in reversed. Interesting. This card speaks of, both of these cards can represent a man or a masculine person. And gender doesn't really matter here, but there's definitely someone, either one or both of you, who is coming across as very dismissive. And, yeah, sure, they're loving, they have emotions, they see a future here. But I almost worry for the oyster person. If they're investing too much of their time and energy and emotional well-being into a person who is emotionally unavailable at times. Like, they may be perfectly available here and there, but it seems like there is some dismissive, judgmental attitudes that are kind of undercurrent in this relationship. And I almost wonder if one person here is prioritizing the connection more than the other. Interesting. We have perseverance with the solar plexus chakra. I feel like it might be the horse person in this connection who might be the more dismissive one, who offers, a nice connection for a while, and then there's a problem that comes up with them, or there's an argument, or there's a fight or something, or there's just coldness. And I feel that the oyster person, they're dealing with this perseverance, and I'm looking at this card and I'm seeing this as them, they're beautiful, they are magic, and their spirit guides are around them, comforting them. And I don't feel like perseverance is a good energy to carry in relationships all the time. Perseverance is a good energy to carry through hardships that aren't like this, though. For example, this would be a good energy if, say, you're in love with someone and, they're struggling with their health right now. And, they're let's just say they're fighting cancer. And, that's when perseverance is a good thing. Perseverance isn't a good thing to be carrying when you love someone who keeps having this repetitive pattern of just being emotionally unstable for the other person, or just at times being emotionally unavailable, and then at times, very loving and there. You deserve stability. And I almost feel like this spirit guide is trying to guide this person to shed this weight that's carrying them down. Because I feel like this beautiful woman in this red dress kind of represents the pearl inside the oyster, the magic within this. And they have to cover up their magic and their beauty with this raggedy old thing, this boring old shell, to kind of protect themselves from this person and their judgment, or I don't know, it's kind of hard to articulate the feelings that I'm getting from this. But we also have ascension coming out. Beautiful butterfly. Transformation, end of a cycle, beginnings, change, metamorphosis. I really see that for the oyster here. I wonder. I wonder if this is a reading where your spirit guides, say you're the oyster. I feel like the spirit guides of the oyster, if that's you, which I feel like for many people it is, are almost trying to get you to ascend from these cycles of emotional instability with your partner or with your love life. Ascend from... I wonder if you're single. All right, we're just going to pause for a second. I wonder if you're single. If you are trying to hide your own need for love through work and through like being overly productive, and you have some walls up there. And this portal card is asking you to, open up a bit more, let people in a bit more if you want your prayers of love and happiness to be answered. You know what I'm saying? There might be this like back and forth energy if you're single, or even if you are in a relationship within yourself where, one moment you're like feeling like you really want love and you're persevering and trying your best to manifest that, and then there might be another moment where you're like, screw love, like I'm gonna be my own person, I'm gonna get this money, I don't need nobody. So it's like kind of this back and forth energy. And even if you are in a relationship or dating, I feel like you're still in this energy of like back and forth, like, oh man, I just wish this would work out, and then screw him, like I can do my own thing. And it's really unstable. I also want to say, if you're the oyster person here, your spirit guides might be cautioning you against spending so much money. I just feel like, the oyster person really, if this is like a relationship or like dating, you really, spend too much on the horse person over here who is not really offering much to you. Like you're always going out of your way for them or spending money on dates or gifts. But are you getting that energy in return? And also, I want to say, like, don't try to match people at their level of wealth. Like, if you have less money, don't be spending all of it going out all the time because you are really interested in someone who can afford to go out all the time. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's get more of the story and see what's next in love. Just see what energies come out. Let's just see what cards come out, honestly. We have the 8 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, there is some thoughts here of walking away, I feel. Honestly, 8 of Cups. Why are we waiting around for that stability to happen? I think it's time to start creating your own stability here. And with the moon showing up as a symbol up here, I just feel like there's a lot of confusion in this connection, a lot of confusion, not knowing where it's going. Like, is it going towards this long-term energy? The 10 of Pentacles represents long-term energy, sharing your, like, it's like an empire, sharing your wealth with each other, creating a big prosperous home and family, whatever that family looks like, whether it's dogs or children, sharing your life's achievements with each other to create something even bigger than you can do on your own. That's what the 10 of Pentacles is all about. And this is a really stable card, like really stable, really grounded. We have a big treasure chest here of wealth. That's like stability. That this is representing stability. I keep wanting to say the word stability because right now it feels like you're lacking in that. This person in the background here, that's kind of what the 8 of Cups is talking about. It's talking about, following your intuition. What do you need? What do you want? What do you want to manifest in life? Go after that with or without the people that you want to take that journey with. Because, and I'm seeing here, like, this could be represented as like a couple where one person is moving on and the other person's just sitting here like, what did I do wrong? And to be honest, I feel like you're the one moving on, group number 3, and the other person's like, what did I do wrong here? Like, and the answer is, they were too busy not caring about the relationship, I feel. Not giving enough stability. Not offering stability. Interesting. And I feel like, this is a really emotional time for you because you might want to be manifesting, something, like, it seems to me like you really were hoping for someone who you can kind of use your different attributes to create something. Like, maybe, for example, like, you might not have the most amount of money in the world, but you offer so much emotionally. And the person that you were hoping you could be with, might have a lot of money, but, they don't have that magic touch in life. You know what I mean? So you were kind of hoping to build something together where like, yeah, they can possibly like fund this beautiful dream. And you're like the magic, like, for example, like they buy the house and you fill it with magic, and like you're the one that like decorates it. And, you might not have much to offer financially, but you were going to be the love. You were going to be the light of that house. Because if it was just them on their own, it would be boring, dull, drab, whatever. But I almost feel like spirit is kind of guiding you to like create your own dream. Like you don't need to depend on people like that. I feel like there is a sense of, not desperation, almost codependency. I feel like this connection, or like your love life in general, was almost starting to be codependent, or like relying too much of your happiness or plans in life off of other people. So I think there's a difference between codependence and interdependence, and I feel like you were kind of getting into a territory where it was starting to feel a little codependent, and spirit's trying to like drag you away from that, and have you remember like you need to be able to survive on your own. Okay, that's like the foundation of interdependence versus codependence. Like if this relationship doesn't work out for whatever reason, you're able to survive on your own, financially, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. You should be able to survive on your own without this person. And I feel like, we're both needing to work up to that. You over here, or whichever one you are, this person over here might need to work more on their finances or physical health or like the physical aspect of life. And then this person over here needs to work on being emotionally stable and emotionally okay on their own, and not needing to depend off of anyone to like, give them some sense of validation or emotional fulfillment. And guys, you can't meet all of your needs on your own. Okay, let's just clarify that from the start. Like you can't meet your needs for social interaction and intimacy all on your own. However, you should be setting up a support system where you have multiple people who can help you meet these needs, not just one person. And, like having your own friends, for example, that's so important in relationships. You can't like just be friends with all of the friends of your partner because, like let's just say something happens, you guys aren't together anymore, you're now left friendless. Okay, you now have no one, right? If they're all, your partner's friends. So let's see what else comes out in the story that we should know. What's next in love? Also, I feel like this is a really transformational year for you. I do feel like your spirit guides are kind of guiding you away from this unstable pattern that was kind of turning a little bit codependent. And I don't know why I'm seeing like home and money coming out really strongly for you. So this year, you might be manifesting a lot of that for yourself. I don't know, guys. Some of you watching might be like contemplating a breakup or something, to be honest. Which is fine. I mean, we can get more info on this. Maybe some more tarot cards don't want to come out though, so let's move on from that. All right. So what's next in love? Let's ask the angels. How about that? What's next in love? Angels, what's next in the love life of group number 3? Yes, with the big exclamation point. This is a really optimistic card. Yes, 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 yes. And if you were just thinking something, the answer is yes. Can we get some more clarification on that? Get more information. Yeah, that's literally what I just said. That doesn't help me, angels. That does not help me. Get more information. When I feel like when this card comes out, it's like you need to have more discussions. You need to I feel like there's going to be some events or discussions in the future that is going to really change things, really clarify things for you. So if you're really confused right now, maybe the next time you see this person, there's going to be some talks that will really clarify things for you. Okay. Also, something I would recommend doing is getting more help or doing some more research into healthy relationships, like try to use more resources to manifest healthy love into your life. Like I highly recommend for the horse person, some therapy maybe would definitely help them. For the oyster person, maybe working a bit more, or, I don't know. I feel like for the oyster person, it's kind of hard for me to give exact advice because I feel like this man holding a coin card can represent so much. Like maybe financial help, maybe like help with your health, or oh, you know what I really feel for the oyster actually? Like I feel like you need to focus more on other things other than this person over here. I feel like the oyster person was becoming slightly codependent in a sense. So like I feel like for them it might be needing to hang out with other friends a bit more, maybe taking on some new habits to fill your time. Okay, fill your time with uplifting things. I'm seeing this perseverance card, and I'm kind of like seeing this energy of, feeling really sad about the connection or your love life, and this beautiful spirit guide coming in like, no, let me redirect you to some really good stuff. So, yeah, I want to say like fill your day with positive things that are going to uplift you, like one of the best things I did for my mental health when I was struggling was to just take on the habit of going to the gym regularly. And that like gave me something to do that wasn't feeling sorry for myself. That gave me something to do that wasn't overthinking. And it was literally just a distraction for me. That's what it started as, but it was a positive distraction. So it ended up in like a good way. So I feel like maybe that's something you can do if you're the oyster, a positive distraction. Like maybe if you're not working that much and you're struggling financially, maybe taking on a part-time job, maybe taking on a class, maybe, going to the gym, maybe hanging out with certain friends more, some type of thing to like just keep you busy. And it's funny because I feel like with the horse person, they're doing that already, but in a negative way. So it's like maybe a little energy exchange would be good for y'all. Like, I feel like the horse person already has a lot going on. That's the problem. They're using that as a distraction in a bad way. And then for the oyster person, it's like, use that as a distraction in a good way. This person needs to become more emotional. This person needs to become like less emotionally involved. You know what I'm saying? This might also be a dynamic where the horse person might perhaps be emotionally avoidant and the oyster person might perhaps be like either a securely attached person or an anxiously attached person, but because they are with an emotionally avoidant person, it might bring out more of that feeling of like neediness, because it's like, I mean, even if you're a regular person with regular needs, if you're with someone who's emotionally avoidant and dismissive, you're going to be made to feel like a needy person. Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't know. Interesting stuff here. All right, let's get some more cards out. I really want to pull from the Lover's Oracle. I feel like there might be a good message from here. I'm feeling it in my bones. So anyways, I'm not looking at it as I shuffle because all of them look different. I don't want to, Let's see. Okay, what's next in love? Or what's going on in love for group number 3? That's the card that came out. Beware of what you are projecting, for the qualities you admire in one another are qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. This same card came out for group number 2, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I would say definitely pay attention to, that. When you're with someone, what qualities do you really like in them? What qualities do you really don't like in them? Because I feel like when we are emotionally attached to someone, or we have like an emotional reaction to anyone or anything in our life, that emotion is showing something that's within our own self. So for example, if you're attracted to someone who's very emotionally dismissive, that is a reflection of you being emotionally dismissive towards your own needs. Ooh, I got the goosebumps with that one. Yes. And if you really think about it, the people who stay with emotionally dismissive people, they do tend to prioritize other people above themselves. So like that's the perfect example of how how that works. So yeah. And, if you're the oyster and you're attracted to the horse person over here because, they're so ambitious, because they have so much stamina, because they have gorgeous hair and they're beautiful, whatever. Like, Spirit's also saying, like, you have those qualities as well. Like, you have all those same qualities you love, but even the ones that you're emotionally, like, angry at, that's a reflection of something within yourself as well. It might not be an exact reflection. If you attract an angry person into your life, that doesn't mean that you're also an angry person. But that will be showing that, actually, you know what? No, I will say, attracting an angry person into your life and sticking around with them and being emotionally, allowing that person to emotionally affect you, that does show some inner anger towards yourself, inner hatred towards yourself, because if someone did not hate themselves, they would not put themselves in that environment, okay? So you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And when you heal that thing within yourself, the situation will transform. So for example, if you are in love with an emotionally dismissive person, once you stop dismissing your own wants, needs, and emotions, this relationship has no choice but to change. And it's either going to fall apart, or they're going to wake up and start, deciding what's going on. I actually saw a quote the other day I want to share with you. It was, when you're with an emotionally avoidant person and you start acting in a secure way, they have two choices. They can walk away, or they can meet you where you're at and meet your needs, Or I'm totally butchering that quote. It was something along those lines, though. So yeah, I feel like group number 3, your message here is to start acting more emotionally secure. Like, actually go on the internet. That's why I feel like the Get More Information card came out. This card tends to come out when Spirit's saying, like, okay, like, literally go online and, like, look this stuff up, or, like, go get some books on this stuff. I feel like you need more information on what it takes to have a securely attached relationship. That specific phrasing, you might want to look up on YouTube or on Google, or maybe, get a book on attachment theory. It might really help you out. And I also want to say, like, start prioritizing your own needs and wants here. And get those needs and wants met with or without this person. You get what I'm saying? Not in a bad way, not in an unethical way. That's not what I'm saying. I feel like some of you guys are like, you want me to cheat on them? Like, no. Have emotionally fulfilling friendships or relationships. With or without this person. All right, I feel like that one's for you. Lots of shuffling. I'm so sorry, guys. I just chat and shuffle. Okay, so this is the card, and it says, don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. Another important message. All right, moving on. Let's ask Mama Moon for some predictions. What's next in love? Mama Moon, for group number 3, what's next in their love life? The moon rules over our emotions, guys. You can really do some deep emotional healing if you follow the moon cycles. And pay attention to what you feel on those moon cycles. Especially if you have Cancer placements, like straight up. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. You should be following these moon cycles. Okay. Mama Moon's saying, what's next in love for group number 3? Disseminating moon. Take time to breathe out. There might be some time needed in this relationship. Like, I feel this, like, need to step back from this connection and really, like, focus on the things outside of it. And here's the thing. I feel like many of you guys will not do this happily. Like, you just really want to focus on this relationship. You really want to figure things out now. You really want it to move forward. But Spirit's saying, like, honey boo boo bears, you're talking to a brick wall. Like, you need to take some time out to breathe. Take some time out to focus on other things, because I just feel like some of y'all are with someone who is not putting in the same amount of effort. The intensity of the full moon has abated, and what are we left with? Okay, some of you guys might have actually gotten into, like, a recent argument, I want to say, or, like, a really big emotional event within your love life. maybe even like a breakup or something. That's what this card is asking you. It suggests that the situation you're asking about has now peaked, and it's time for you to regroup and learn from your experiences rather than blindly forging ahead. Have faith that what is happening is for the best. Try to accept the way things are now and give yourself and others time out to relax. Breathe. We can't be on all the time. If you feel like you've hit an obstacle or even failed in some way, now is the time to reflect on how to do things differently next time. Be honest with yourself if you feel bad about your current situation, and then remind yourself that life goes in cycles. I am where I am, and it is okay. You should know where you stand either now or very soon. With this relationship, guys, I feel like you're gonna have very clear answers very soon. So don't worry about it. But like, take some time to breathe right now. Don't try to force answers at this time. Don't try to force everything to be fine right now if it's not. You need to take some time out for your own good. It's time for you to share your wisdom and experience with someone else and avoid falling into a slump. Yeah, really big advice here, guys. Go out with different friends. Go out with, or like do different things to fill your time other than this relationship. That's what I'm really feeling for, or other than like your love life. That's what I'm really feeling for you. I feel like it was getting really big and big and big, like with the moon, this focus on this relationship or this issue. And now it's like, okay, let me just give it some space to heal on its own and focus on my own thing. The disseminating moon is the first moon phase after the explosion of energy that comes with the full moon. No matter when you pick this card, it suggests you're more at a tranquil point in the life cycle of whatever situation you're asking about. This is not the ideal time to start something new. The disseminating moon is time to breathe out. Give yourself some time off and think about what has passed. Big old advice from Mama Moon. I totally feel that. It's good advice for you guys. So, tuning into the romance angels. And I feel like in the upcoming weeks, things might feel a little bit quieter. If you're in a relationship, you might not hang out with your person as much. You might be focusing on your own things after whatever the heck happened here. If you're single, girl, ain't nothing happening for you in the next few weeks. And that's a good thing. Okay, that's a good thing. Yeah. Okay. True love. This is a romance of a lifetime. That's what's coming up next, y'all. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get this true love. Okay, romance angels, what's next in love for group number 3? All of the story, all the drama involved with it, it's all leading you to this. This is the end result, okay? To a state where you can be, like in this 10 of Pentacles, like comfortable, emotionally secure. But the situations you're going through right now are teaching you important lessons, balancing your energy so that you can manifest and sustain true love. You know what I'm saying? Oh geez, oh geez, oh geez. Children, your love life is being affected by children. We have worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Yeah, I feel like this is a big one for y'all single folk. Don't get impatient here. Divine timing is talking about it may feel like nothing's happening, but literally there's a lot of progress towards this true love energy in your life. Even if you're single, the lessons you're learning now are going to put you into an energy where you can manifest and sustain true, secure love, healthy love. Anything else? Chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. It can be difficult when you have a lot of chemistry with someone and you have issues with attachment styles, being emotionally dismissive. And I feel like that's what keeps calling you back to a certain relationship when you have so much chemistry, physically or emotionally. There's just this pull to them. It feels wrong to leave them. But at the same time, you have to look at the situation and ask yourself, is this emotionally stable and secure? Will this make me happy? Or is this eating away at my happiness? I don't think passionate relationships that are filled with giant ups and downs, that's not a good thing. I feel like it's been really normalized in our society, and honestly, there ain't nothing like a nice, calm, love, with good communication. We have reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. I feel that some of you guys who are in a tricky relationship right now, there is possibility that we can overcome this. Okay, maybe, possibly, if both people are willingly putting in the work. I feel like the horse person over here, they need to really do some emotional healing, y'all. And then the oyster person over here, they need to kind of do other things in life and, get their own life together. I don't know. There's a chance that things can work out. I'm not going to say 100% though. But right now, things feel really tricky. I feel the energy of some of you guys might have come out of a big argument that really made you consider, should I stay or should I go? And, it actually might even cause some distance. For the upcoming weeks. I don't know. This is tricky stuff. I feel like you're in a messy love situation right now, a lot of you. And you're persevering. And, my single folk, I think you have it a little bit easier than the people in relationships this time around, because I feel that, you're just in this space of taking time for you, taking time to reconnect with yourself, taking time to, step away from the concept of not having love in your life and letting that affect you negatively, and trying to focus on the things that are working for you. I feel like it's easier for you because you are single, but that same advice is being given to those in relationships here as well, and it might be a little bit more harder for y'all, because especially if you're already emotionally invested in someone, if you're already emotionally invested in this person and you have a lot of chemistry, it's really hard to pull back. But the message here is to pull back, give space. Take time to breathe out. Some of you guys, if you're feeling called to actually fully have a breakup here and you're really set on that idea, I think that might be good for you. So if you're 100% intuition saying gotta break up with them, and you're really feeling like it might be best, this is confirmation that yes, it'll be best. If you're not quite there yet, but it's been on your mind, I feel like you guys are in the most tricky spot here. But the good news is Spirit is saying there will be answers in the near future. Okay, you don't have to have everything figured out right this second. Take some time, breathe out, and the universe will show you the way forward if you're in that group. Okay, and I'm not gonna say yes, you're gonna leave them, or no, because it's really a tricky. I feel like you're on a seesaw here. It can really go either way at this point if you're in that group. So don't make any big decisions right now. I don't think that's a good idea if you're not 100% sure. Some of you guys are kind of sure, and go ahead, move forward with that, but yeah, there's definitely going to be more answers in the upcoming weeks for you. The upcoming weeks might be having a lot more alone time. That'll give you space to really go over your life and all of the stuff that's going on in your love life. So we're going to finish off by actually getting some channeled love messages from the horse to the oyster and the oyster to the horse. So if this horse person here, and also if you're single, I guess you can leave. Thanks for joining. If, these two energies really resonated for you though, as you and someone else, stay, because we are going to get some channeled love messages. So if the horse person was 100% open and honest about their feelings towards this relationship to the oyster person, what would they say? What would the horse person say? I really need to print this deck out on an actual deck, not just cut up paper, and I want to really offer it to you guys if you want to buy it, because this honestly is one of my most powerful decks. I feel it never lets me down. It's always given good readings, I feel. though. I want to offer you guys this deck if you're into oracle reading or tarot reading. Okay, they would say to the oyster, 9 of Swords. I stay up late at night worrying about this connection, worrying in general. My mental health is poor right now. Yeah, this horse person is a worrier. Not a warrior, a worrier. And they have a ton of fear when it comes to their love life, when it comes to emotion, when it comes to this connection. It's not that they don't like you. I feel like the horse person loves the oyster, you know? But their mental health is so bad. Like, their ability to regulate their own emotions is so bad that I simply do not think that the horse person at this moment in time is able to offer a stable, healthy connection, because they don't have that within themselves. They might even have insomnia, sleep issues, mental health issues that affect this relationship, high anxiety, low energy, and a general unhappiness in life. And if that's how they're feeling on their own, you know, what can they offer this relationship? You know, I'm not one to sit here and say, yeah, like break up with someone because they have mental health issues. But there are cases where if you have mental health issues and you are not taking responsibility of growing as a person and becoming better, how are you going to grow this relationship and become better together? You know what I'm saying? That's like a really big thing. And if your mental health issues are affecting the relationship, which it is, and you're not doing anything about it, like, that is your responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to take care of yourself so that you can show up correct in your connections. And I feel like the horse person, you know, they weren't doing that. Now, I would say one thing is, if you see them actually making strides to improve their mental health and to thus improve the relationship willingly, and you know, they really want to make this work, that might be a good sign. And if you want, you can stay and, you know, see what happens there. If they're not doing anything, I really just don't see how this is going to work with you being happy. And if you're the horse person, like, you really need to take care of your mental health. Like, you don't understand how badly it is affecting your relationships and your relationship with this oyster person. Like, this oyster person, if you're the horse person here, they do not feel properly loved. Like, they do not feel like, they almost feel like they value you more than you value them. And I know that's tough to hear, but like, that's again why it's so important to take care of your health and like make sure that you are able to show up correct in your relationships and offer emotional stability, because when you're not emotionally stable, your relationships aren't emotionally stable. And yes, I understand, like, yeah, the oyster person shouldn't be putting so much of their emotional happiness into this other person. They do have some codependent energies in that regard, but you know, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not a black or white thing. Like, this is like a gray relationship where both of you have some things you need to heal and work on. You get what I'm saying? So anyways, more channeled messages from the horse to the oyster. What would the horse person say to the oyster person if they were completely open and, oh my God, honest about their feelings? Spirit's like, they would say a lot. King of Cups. I am very sensitive and selective with my companions, but once you're in my heart, you'll have a place there forever. Yeah, like we said, they're very long-term energy type of people. Unafraid of intimacy, but has healthy boundaries, fatherhood, empathetic and warm-hearted, will drop defenses once they know that you're genuine, can be distant at first. Yeah, it takes a while to get into the heart of this person, but once you're there forever. They are a very loving person. Like we said, they do have a lot of love for the oyster person. They just might have a hard time showing it because they are struggling on their own. Okay. We have the Two of Wands. Can we start making future plans together? I want to, but this is so new. I'm trying to figure out how to approach the subject. Yeah, I feel like the horse person, again, does have long-term things in mind. They're a long-term person. You know, they have ideas for different like vacations or leisurely activities you guys can take, creative partnerships, and what that means is like building something together, whether it's a home or a business or like, you know, just a hobby or something. Planning future travel, coming up with a plan. We also have the Two of Swords. I am protecting my heart right now. The unknown scares me. There's that worry again. So I don't make any emotional decisions. I can't make a decision right now. Again, temporary timeout, afraid to leave their comfort zone, taking time to think, weighing options, stalemate. This horse person is not moving forward because they are such a worrier. They worry about everything. They overthink the crap out of this relationship, out of their life. You know, they're afraid to make a decision because they already have, like, I almost feel like the horse person kind of had a vision for their own life as an individual, and they almost are afraid to stray from that vision and incorporate new people into it. Like, it takes a lot for them. Really interesting. Anything else, Spirit? Any other channel messages from the horse to the oyster? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, the oyster person to the horse, what would they say if they were being 100% open and honest about their emotions? We have the Tower. I have something to tell you that may be shocking. Something's changing, all right? It's an intense connection, intense attraction for the oyster. This oyster person is feeling so much energy intensely here. There's also sexual tension, you know, that's fun. Sudden change beyond your control, whatever they have to say will shake the foundation of this connection. And again, yeah, I feel like the oyster person is, like, honestly, like, at their breaking point in this connection, like, contemplating breaking up because they, like, cannot handle it anymore. Like, they need more. 7 of Swords. My intentions aren't pure. I want to take more than I give. I play games because I don't view this as serious. If you want a fun time, I'm your person. I feel like this oyster person is feeling this energy in this connection. So I feel like I feel that the oyster person is perceiving the horse person like that. You know, they think that they're being used, that there's no pure intentions. They feel like they're giving way more than they're receiving, and because of that, it kind of puts them into this energy of, like, you know, not like being cold, like kind of being cut off a little bit, kind of, you know, worrying too much about getting equal pleasure, getting equal gain from this connection. Like, I just feel like there's been, like, a toxic pattern in this connection. Like, this is emotionally unstable, this connection, and it needs to change. That's why the Tower came out. It needs to, like, break down, to be rebuilt completely, almost, like, because I feel like the oyster person is kind of having to bring out their more shadow attributes here. You know, different people bring out different parts of ourselves, and sometimes when a relationship isn't healthy, it can bring out the worst in us. And I feel like the worst in the oyster is, like, being a bit closed off, being a bit cold, and really, like, not like paranoid, but in this energy of, I need to take care of myself, and kind of viewing them as, like, one instead of us, me instead of us. Which is interesting because I feel like in the beginning, the oyster person really wanted it to be like us, but then because of some emotional distance or judgment or fear or excessive worry on the horse's behalf, it's now kind of forced this oyster person into, like, a me and you, and, like, made it a little bit more transactional. Like, what can I get from you? How are you benefiting my life? Because for a while there, like, I think the horse was so focused elsewhere. Like, I don't know. There's just some worries here. There's some things that need healing. We have the Wheel of Fortune. I want to come back. I feel like we are fated to be together. This connection is making this oyster person feel so up and down. Like we said earlier, we were tuning into that energy of, like, 1 minute you're like, I don't need no man, like, I am on my own, like, I can do things on my own, and then the next they're just like, well, we're fated, like, there's so much chemistry here, I want to build something with you. I am totally getting that from the oyster, okay? Strong intuition, surprise communication and visits, unexpected reappearances, ex comeback, big unexpected changes. I feel like this oyster person is at a make or breaking point right now. Like something big's having to happen, or like nothing else, you know? Go big or go home. That is the energy. Like something big needs to change here in order for this oyster person to feel happy. Anything else? I feel like I just need to get advice for you guys. I feel like y'all should be in like relationship therapy, to be honest, but like I just want to offer you more advice. I want a soulmate relationship, but I'm unwilling to open up and emotionally put in the work. I feel like this goes for both people here. Staying in a relationship out of habit. I feel like the oyster person might have came into this relationship ready to open up and be in a soulmate connection, but then the horse person was moving way slower than the oyster person and wasn't like opening up at the same rate, and then that caused the oyster person to like shut their little oyster shells around their heart, around their pearl, and then because they did that, then there's a lot of opening up that needs to happen here if things are going to work out, guys. Lots of healing work. Now, normally I would end your reading, but I gotta ask more. So, Spirit, Angels, is this relationship salvageable? Is this relationship, can it be salvaged? Can it turn into something healthy, long-term, soulmate energy? Okay, there's a lot of cards here. We have there's something better. We have no, be assertive. I'm gonna leave these cards here, and I want you to really listen to what your intuition's telling you right now. It's gonna be different for everybody. Comment it down below. You know, when these cards came out, did you feel a strong resistance towards it? Like, no, that can't be right. Like, we're meant to be together. Like, or did you have this sense of, well, yeah, I think, you know, that feels correct. This no answer, no, this is not salvageable. Because whatever just intuitively came up for you when this no, there's something better, be assertive energy came out, that intuitive nudge that you felt with this very powerful message, that is your answer. Okay, so comment it down below. Put it into cement and then take action on it. That's what the be assertive card's saying. Take action on whatever that intuitive nudge that just came up is. For some of you guys, when these cards came out, you're like, that can't be true. Like, this is salvageable. And not in like a, you know, like in an intuitive way. Like, you just feel in your bones that this is going to work out. Or you felt in your bones, yeah, I don't think it can be salvaged either. And, you know, that's your answer there. So thank you guys for joining me. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I will see you later. Bye-bye.